Are you? Welcome to Onside ZA, brought to you by Betway. Get way more. This is a watch along for the Champions League quarterfinal, the biggest game of the season so far. The mighty Real Madrid, the number one holders of the Champions League title in both formats, as the UEFA Champions League as well as the old European Cup, against the current holders, Manchester City. Joining me on this watch along, Len Moleko.
I'm not happy to be here.
Because you'd rather be watching Arsenal at home.
Thank you very much.
It is a shame. This is the first Champions League quarterfinal for Arsenal in a very long time. And
then I have to be here.
Somehow you've agreed to watch Real Madrid versus Manchester City. But I'm sure the ballers will want to keep you up to date on that.
No, they mustn't. I don't want to know. I want to watch the game fresh.
Also joining us is Tsepi Worldwide. Welcome, darling. And everybody's favorite super sub.
Danko.
Super sub, are you nervous?
Not really.
Why? Why aren't you nervous, my friend?
It's a very good question. It's Real Madrid.
It's Real Madrid, of course, but Manchester City have shown that they can pull their own when playing against Real Madrid. I mean, if you go back to last season fixture, we were here, and they showed us that they are champions as well, and they went on to win it. So. And if you look statistically, I mean, the past few games, Real Madrid hasn't really been able to beat Manchester City. So I'm not worried. I think it's going to be a very close game, though. But I'm not nervous at all.
I'd like to think this
Does
is
it
a
matter?
more...
Okay.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Does it matter how well or not so well City has been doing in the Premier League?
Super sub, do you want to answer about if you think Manchester City doing
their performance,
relatively
the
poorly compared to how they have in former years in the Premier League affects your confidence for this game?
No, not necessarily. I mean, if you look at the Premier League, Manchester City, I think now they're sitting on 10 consecutive wins. So they've got their form back. And
consecutive wins, see?
In the league.
Yeah.
10 consecutive wins.
How many are they?
No, it's not 10 league titles in a row. It's 4. What?
No.
He's saying
wins.
League
when
games.
last did we lose a game?
No. You're talking about 10 consecutive wins.
You
just
sure
drew
a
game the
against
other
Arsenal.
day.
There must be a draw, yeah.
We haven't lost a game in 10 consecutive games.
Yes, my friend.
Just
Tell
wanted
them.
to make sure. But also, this is a cup game. Trying to emulate or saying or putting element or the lethalness of league football to Champions League is being disingenuous. You can see with the likes of a PSG, they run rings in Ligue 1, but comes Champions League, they stumble here and there. You saw it with Inter doing very well in the Serie A, but stumbling again in the Champions League. So what does Shots want now? You want to join us?
Your mic is mute.
He wants,
maybe I'm mute. I don't know.
You're not.
I
That's
meant,
the usual.
Okay, so let me correct myself. 10 consecutive wins in Champions League, Len.
Oh, okay. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh, okay. We've moved.
I know.
It's a long time
I
ago,
had-
but
I
thank
had
you
to
for
find my-
clarifying.
But as I was saying, it's superimposing league form to Champions League is disingenuous. I mean, with Arsenal, you saw they were struggling against FC Porto, but
In the league,
they're doing well. They can hold their own against Liverpool that can probably slap around Porto. They can hold their own against a City that can slap around Porto. So, which is why I was saying, I think in one of the episodes that we had, that let's not be disingenuous and think that Bayer Leverkusen are going to walk rings around West Ham. kind of vibes.
Yeah.
More
what do we then
importantly, what I
say?
want to do
Yeah,
is
okay.
welcome the ballers. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
ballers,
joining us
hi.
once again. Ballers, thank you for joining us as always to the stream. There's a couple questions here in the comments. First of all, which channel is showing the game? It is Supersport 6, so 206 is showing the game, and I believe there is also a stream elsewhere on public TV in other countries.
So the premium channel is showing the big game.
The 203 is showing the Arsenal versus Bayern
The
Munich
big game.
Which is a premium channel? Is
our
203 the
man,
premium
yeah,
channel?
It's the Premier
The
League
biggest
channel.
game is the one that we're doing right now.
No, we're doing this because the other big game, like, you know, I didn't want to make it look like I'm biased, Wabo.
I'd also like to point out and say that we will not be showing the game here on YouTube on the stream. This is a watch along where you'll be joining us just for the conversation around the game. And as we follow the action live with you. So I suggest if you do have access to the game on one of your broadcast channels, put that on your TV, put us on your phone, your tablet, your computer next to you, whichever. And let us join you as mates, just goofing around,
Have a
watching the
drink.
game together,
Yeah.
have a
Chill
drink,
out,
have a
strike
chillers
balls.
punch.
Yeah.
Zonke bonke, everything. But going back to the conversation we were having about
League
this, right?
form.
League form in yeah, it's really not make sure. Number one. Number two as well is I hear what you're saying, right? Number one, I don't think it was probably by design, or it was, you know, somebody came with a broom from a province in the country and planted the thing there. On my way to coming to the recording, a pop-up advert in one of those screens, you know, those screens that
Digital
got like,
screens.
yes, digital screens, right? It pops up, it shows Vinny, Jude Bellingham, and somebody, I can't remember who else. It's an ad for a health product. It says, win a trip to Madrid. I'm like, hey, is this a sign
You are so funny.
for tonight? But
The only trip that you should be worried about, my friend, is the Betway trip to Arsenal.
Not to Cape Verde. Oh, you guys have
no,
aborted
I'm
that
over
one.
that. I'm over that. Yes,
Oh,
no. We. But
You guys
that one,
move on
no.
fast,
We
huh?
played. The competition is over.
It is now
yes.
concluded, yes.
Yes.
So if you did
So
bet,
they announced, not yet, right?
I honestly don't know.
Not yet, not yet. They haven't announced
We'll
yet.
put out word to our friend Javi, shout out Javi, at Betway, and see if those winners have been announced as yet.
By
Yes.
the way, Banyana's playing, guys. What time are they playing?
Banyana's
it should be
already
the
in
second half
action.
now.
It
Second
should be
half
second
now?
half
What's the
kicking
score?
off. It was 0-0 at halftime when I last saw.
Yes,
Who are
same
they
here.
playing? Our
They play
arch-rivals?
Nigeria. So yes, Nigeria, and Sundowns is also playing. I don't know what the score is there.
It's
just
1-0
give
to
updates.
Sundowns.
Go figure.
No surprise there.
So what I was saying,
Really against the back 10 of Cape Town Spurs. I was watching the opening few minutes of that fixture. It was a back 10.
sadly.
Yeah.
So as I was saying as well, look at what happened last year. And I think a reverse has almost become the order of the day. I think the city that Real Madrid is facing now looks like a more, I don't want to say weakened, but I'm going to say weakened for a lack of a better word,
Okay.
right? Versus a Real Madrid who, yes, they did have star power in the likes of
Less
your
lethal.
Benzema, and whoever it is that was there. But I think the City of last season was more intentional,
Yeah.
was more clinical
Yeah.
versus a Real Madrid now that you look at the City now, you look at more so in the key battles that are going to happen. Erling Haaland was shown that if he is up against somebody who's willing to wrestle him like pigs in mud, you're going to shut him down. What Saliba and Gabriel did to him, Rudiger is probably licking his lips on some, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, the beauty about those two teams is that they've got star players, you know, and my worry, I just saw now on the starting lineup that Kevin De Bruyne is starting from the bench.
We knew. I think me and you had this discussion
Yes.
about the rotation with Foden and who is
Yeah.
yes.
So, you know, when you go to a game like this and you've got a star player like Kevin De Bruyne on the bench, it's a sign of Pep trying to, I think, not to be more overzealous, and try and maybe be on a more defensive approach. Because
However, the player who's come in for Kevin De Bruyne, in my opinion, because it's hard to see, there's three of them across that line. It would be Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, or Phil Foden, and not necessarily the Kovacic-Rodri partnership. So I wonder if it's a pragmatic approach in those terms, or if it's about legs. Because obviously Kevin De Bruyne is fairly recently back from injury.
But I think
Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva is a lot of legs.
Yeah. And again, also, Marco, if you look at it, Kevin De Bruyne, honestly speaking, is a brilliant player. He's a player that you want in a game of this magnitude. However, the legs are no longer there. And also defensively, he does not actually give you much. If you have watched how he's been playing in the recent matches, defensively, he's nowhere. He's good offensively.
Jack does, though.
So do you think he's being saved for the return fixture?
I don't
It's
think
probably-
so.
it's
Keep
not-
it safe
probably
in
even for
Madrid.
the second half, hey?
I don't think it's for the return fixture.
Yeah.
I think if you are Pep, you sit there and you look for the player that you think you'll get the most out of.
Well, let's go through that lineup. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Ben.
I was checking the lineup actually, Marco. Sorry about that. It's Ortega on the goals, Akanji, Stone, Diaz, Vadiol. It's the back four. Obviously, Stones, I think, is going to be inverting, or Akanji, depending on who.
Feels like it on the day.
Yeah, and there's Rodrigo and Kovacic. So it's a pragmatic approach, Marco. You want to have, I think he wants to win the midfield, because Real Madrid can actually exploit the midfield, if you don't have the right personnel.
I think the exploitation of exploit is more going to be on the wings, because there's no Kyle Walker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
No,
there's
there's
no
no
Kyle
Walker.
Walker.
There's no Kyle Walker.
And also at the
Akanji is
back,
going to be on the right.
but Ake is also not there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So there's an ailing that Man City goes into this game with.
Yeah.
And you look at the attacking prowess that Real Madrid have. You almost want to say it might just be a game of who outscores who more than who dominates who.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you look
So
at
you guys not
Manchester
seeing a
City,
stalemate?
Never.
this is a high-scoring game. Usually these two teams go at each other. This fixture, and I'm gonna bring it home. It just reminds me of how Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns always fare. They go at each other. And coming to Len's point, yes, when you don't have a player like Walker and you're gonna have a player like Vinicius Junior running into in those flanks, you are gonna be worried. But if you look at Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side, most probably, and Jack Grealish is going to be on the left-hand side, those are also quite speedy players as well, And Bernardo Silva, we've seen how he can also be very instrumental defensively, because he also likes tracking back. He can also invert into the middle if needs be, And then obviously Foden I think is going to be playing number 10, and Haaland at number 9.
It'll be interesting to see the responsibility of wanting to score goals and being that key player. Is Foden necessarily going to do what he did against Villa? Or is Foden going to try find those pockets of spaces to open up for Erling Haaland?
Yeah, but obviously his primary role is to fight those pockets, is to be creative, it's to
And
make those
supply.
make those spaces, throw defense to yourself and make space for your Haaland,
Yeah.
and he's going to be the guy that I think Haaland is going to be looking at and hoping to get some balls, since Kevin De Bruyne is not in.
And not only that, is he's going to pop in with a few goals. He's got 4 goals already in this competition,
Yeah.
and 3 assists. So Phil Foden's going to be a player to watch in every respect of the game, because he is a man on fire at the moment.
From a Real Madrid perspective, I stand to be corrected. I believe Militao is not available for this game. Or he might.
He's on the substitutes bench.
Yes, it wouldn't make
But
sense
he
because
just came back from injury.
Yeah, because over the
Yes,
weekend he literally
literally.
played for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's obviously not ready to play the entire game as yet. Hence why Tchouameni, who we've seen in midfield for Real Madrid, drops into the centre-back role. We've seen this many times from Carlo Ancelotti, where he brings players who aren't necessarily in there primary position and he brings them into more defensive roles to control the game to very good effect.
Yeah.
We thought Camavinga might be the player to do that move. He might still. These are preliminary lineups, so we'll have to see as they take to the field. But do you want to go through that lineup, Len Moleko? Do you have it in front of you?
Yes.
I'll give you the floor, sir.
Okay, it's Lunin in goal, obviously. Carvajal, Rudiger, Chouameni, Mendy. That's the back line.
Yeah.
I don't want to say back four. I'm going to say back line.
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then Valverde, Camavinga, Toni Kroos, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, as well as Rodrigo.
It's hard to pick out a danger man in that squad because they are
All
just
danger men.
all so terrifically good.
Almost all of them are dangerous.
Camavinga gives you a lot in all areas of the pitch. He gives you a lot of energy. He's going to be tracking back for Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. He's going to be given a task of dealing with a few of Manchester City's quality forward players. And
if
then
he gets
Jude
that
Bellingham
right.
and Toni Kroos. Valverde and Bellingham will be given the opportunity to move forward and push on. Toni Kroos is going to dictate the play from midfield. He's able to cut open defenses with a single pass. We've seen that before. And he might be trying to do a similar job to what Rodri will be doing as well, is like looking to orchestrate the play, but also he will have a responsibility of being very defensive as well.
No, definitely.
So Toni Kroos is a player with experience. He's won this tournament more times than anybody else. Luka Modric also on the bench, another option to come on later in the game.
He's also won it the same number of times
As Toni Kroos, that's correct. Arda Güler is an option for bringing in some young flair from the bench for Real Madrid. There's also Brahim Diaz, who's been full of goals
Yep, definitely.
in league football. So Real Madrid, obviously, one of the deepest squads in world football, some of the most quality in world football. However, they're coming across the team. I've not spoken much on Manchester City squad as yet. That has undeniable quality in itself. I mean, we've just been talking about Kevin De Bruyne being on the bench, and that's one of the best players in world football in recent memory.
And guys, when we talk about the subs right now, comparing the subs from Madrid with the subs from City, who would you say has a bench that has more quality than the other?
It's difficult to say.
It depends.
Yeah, because
It's
all of
hard
them.
to-
If let's say, for instance, you City brings on Kevin De
Even the young
Bruyne.
boy Bob sometimes can be lethal when he wants to.
Yeah, but look at it this way: City brings on De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Carlos says, "Okay, I've got one up in my sleeve." He brings on Luka. You know, and the way these teams are lined up, it looks like they're all approaching it in the same manner. You know.
First leg, I'm going for it because second leg, anything can happen. And I think Carlo might have learned his lessons from last year because the first leg, he also played it at home and the game ended in a draw, only to go to the Etihad and get spanked.
Yeah. But I feel like he's also approaching the more defensive approach as well. You know, if you look at his midfield, you know, having Camavinga there, Valverde, and also Toni Kroos, you know. So you can just see that I think this team are going to be trying to cancel each other all the way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. These are the two wiliest of characters in terms of managers. We've not spoken much on them. The two of the biggest Champions League winners in the history of the tournament as well, Pep Guardiola and Carlo Ancelotti. They've got the experience in this tournament. They know what they're doing. And it looks like the tactical battle has begun before kickoff has even started.
no, definitely. It looks like that. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned the two managers who's been at it and who have achieved so much. And it will be interesting. I think Pep is just 4 wins behind Carlo Ancelotti, 113 wins, Len.
It's how many Champions League titles you've won. Let's go there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that also it's a big stats, but I'm talking about wins, you know, because right now, Pep will probably want to be catching up with Carlo.
But here's an interesting thing. Two elements. One, I think the Bernabeu is getting close today. I think I heard rumors about that.
Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be tricky because it changes the atmosphere.
Yes.
It changes the atmosphere, and City
Number two,
players
yeah.
are not used to that, unless fair play dictates that if the game it's going to be played in the nature that they are going to be playing it. Remember, a day before you do get to go practice at the ground.
Apparently,
To have a feel.
So to have a feel, so maybe they would have maybe practiced at the ground closed.
yeah, but they without the noise. Or are they doing Dr. Rassi Rasmus and they're going to have speakers inside while they're training and have like the noises of the Real Madrid fans screaming. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Betway for chasing the sun and sponsoring it. What piece of great television. Anyway, I digress. But like, yeah, they're going to be playing closed stadium, that noise at the Bernabeu. Pep, not necessarily one of their most favorite people in the world because they suffered some of their heaviest defeats when Pep
In the
was
hands
at
of Pep,
Barcelona.
yeah,
yes.
at Barcelona,
So it's the game has got so many narratives to it.
So much, yeah.
You know, it's got so many storylines. So
And so much competition between the two as well, you know. I'm talking about the managers as well, you know. And I mean, Pep also faced Carlo when he was at Bayern, you know. So they've been at each other for a while.
a battle of the airways.
Yeah.
But
So let's get into our picks for this fixture just as before we kick off, so that if you do want to place your bets on the Betway app, remember to use the affiliate code OnsideZA if you're joining as a new user. My pick for the game seems to be the same pick as the good people over at Betway, and it's a simple one because I think it's a really tough game to call, and it's just both teams to score at 1.58.
I went for a Real Madrid win.
Real Madrid win, Seppi darling,
Real Madrid win.
and
I'm
Super
sorry,
Sub.
Super
I
Sub.
think it's going to be a draw, actually.
A
It's going to be a
stalemate.
draw. It's going to be a draw with goals.
Draw, both
score
teams
draw.
to score. Score
Both
draw.
teams to score, obviously, yeah. If it's a draw.
Let's head over to the comments. Gift Real G saying Pep is either very smart or very delusional for leaving out De Bruyne. We will see probably by half time if it's a good decision or not. We won't even have to wait for the end of the game to know the answer to that one. Prime Bender saying Madrid is a miracle club. That is for sure. Neo Isaacs saying he's for Banyana and City to win tonight.
Who's that?
Neo
My G.
Isaacs. Yeah.
No, Neo Isaacs, not Gift
Not
Real G.
Gift Real G.
okay.
That's no.
Gift
But
Real
still.
G is agreeing with you, saying that Stones will invert into midfield. So,
Okay.
and now Isaac's saying they have Jude, we have no Ake, which could be a problem there.
And no Walker as well, eh?
Lonwabo Ngalo saying, Captain, we're slaughtering you guys today. I bet with my Koza girlfriend.
What does that
I assume he
even mean?
means me that Real Madrid's getting slaughtered today.
Okay.
Um,
You want a closer girlfriend? That's
Oh,
what he.
Marco.
That's what he offered.
oh, he's betting.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
using
He's using his Koza girlfriend
Yes.
to
I
place
don't
the
know-
bet with me.
I don't know.
you're saying
I don't
yes.
know if the girlfriend is a currency on the Betway app. Maybe we should check with Harvey.
What
the
do
co-
I have to bet?
And the current will be called X.
What do I have to give if I lose?
Touche.
Gift Real G asking Foden or Saka. I'll hand this one to you.
Foden or Saka?
They offer you different, but I'll go for Foden.
Yeah, same. I'll go for Foden, but
On current form, you have to
on
say
current
Foden.
form, it's definitely Foden. But I think they're two different players.
Yes, because
Got you.
if Saka is not able to play across, do you get what I mean? He can't almost play as a 10 or as a winger.
He's more.
Oh, he can play on the wing. Yes.
He can't play as a 10.
He can't
We
play as a
haven't
10.
seen him playing as a 10.
Oh, let's rather say we haven't seen him play as a 10.
But
Whereas
Foden has
with
proven himself in both positions.
Exactly.
Question here. Kamva Ngoma asking if Chumeni is good at centre back. I'll be honest with you, Kamva. I've never seen him play at centre back.
yet to see.
But Ancelotti's very good at adapting his players. Chumeni, a player with a lot of quality that I believe in. And to be honest, Carlo doesn't have many options, and Ede Militao not back quite in time for this fixture. I'm sure Carlo would have been really delighted to be able to put those two back in centre back in Rudiger and Ede Militao for this fixture.
And you don't want to rush Militao back because you still have a second leg coming, and the guy just came back from injury.
And you don't want to risk
and you
him
have your own league
further
to wrap up
injuring
as well.
himself. Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean-
he's been back for a week, right?
in the weekend. In
Yeah.
the weekend game, like I said earlier on, he only played for about a minute.
Vinny Jr. playing the drums on the wall there. getting that Brazilian feeling samba. Ready for some samba football.
Oh, baby.
Ahead of Rodrigo, that's, I assume, who Tepe's reacting to.
No, I'm reacting to Junior.
Vinny Jr.
I thought you were talking
Oh,
about
the old baby.
Oh, baby.
I can't say I agree with you
Look,
there.
I think
Neither can I, Malcolm.
I'm waiting for my cause a girlfriend.
No
relax.
Diddy, okay?
what I'm picking up, I've got this new fascination, right, with the dugout walking out type thing or tunnel walking out, trying to read the demeanor of the players ahead of walking onto the field, and even during the anthems in certain matches, and the demeanors of the coaches as well. There's a sense of, okay, boys, relax. Like, let's go. We
Composure.
can do this from Man City, whereby I saw a couple of faces of determination from a couple of the Real Madrid players.
Look, Real Madrid,
And I mean,
this is week in,
if you
week
are
out for
good
Real
at-
Madrid.
Yeah, and if you are good at reading, body language, then
No, I'm
you
not.
just
I'm not
might-
saying I'm good.
I'm
I'm
saying
just saying
if
it's
you
a new.
are,
It's a new
It's
fascination.
a nice thing, yeah, because you can read a lot from a person's, body language or their non-verbal communication. So
How important is it for this man, Haaland, to have a big game today, Super Sub?
It's
imperative.
very imperative.
imperative.
You know,
Is the
Marco,
stadium
just-
closed? I'm trying to figure it out.
The roof,
The roof, yes.
I believe it would be.
It looks like it.
I see the sky.
Because if it wasn't closed, there should have been an
They will show
aerial shot by now.
They will show us.
No,
Let's
but I
see.
see the sky, and then
No, there's a gap area over there that
gap
you can see
area.
thing,
Yeah.
but there is a roof over the stadium
Yeah.
that's retractable. So it may have been closed for, I don't know, weather purposes.
account for weather.
No, I think it's an experiment because it was a request.
noise?
It was a request that was put through by the president of European football, Florentino Perez. No, it was a request that was done by Florentino Perez, the Madrid president, to get the roof closed.
Yeah, coming back to your question, because Len disrupted us with this fascination about the closed stadium.
No, it was actually about reading players.
No. When Marco asked the question, you were talking about the stadium getting closed. You asked if the stadium is closed.
Oh,
But we're
While
heading...
I was trying to answer Marco.
okay.
But
Yeah.
go back to Haaland for me, please, there, Super Sub. I haven't forgotten.
I think this is one of those games where, he has to come and sort of like redeem himself. I mean, redeem himself in a sense that in most big games, he's sort of like gone quiet, and I'm hoping that Foden will be that player that sort of like feed him, because obviously as a typical number 9, he needs those crosses, he needs those balls coming through the middle as well, So I'm hoping Jack, Foden and Bernardo do some magic there for him, because this is a game that he needs to really, if there's somebody that can carry City, it has to be him today.
Just by the way, guys, so the Real Madrid has been granted permission, like Lynn has mentioned, by UEFA to close the roof of the Bernabeu during the Champions League match. And it is said that the reasons are to enhance the atmosphere.
There you go.
Yes.
And also there is a stadium renovation.
Yeah, they're trying to turn the stadium into, I don't know what, like
Yeah.
underground parking that has underground stadiums and all of those things. And I
Yeah.
actually like this comment from Miami Prince Ramos.
Is there a hotel as well, Musa? Is there no hotel as well?
There's everything. Yes, the hotel is underground and on top of the stadium. You will not believe what's happening there. The comment from Miami Prince Ramocha is saying roof closing is crazy. They're turning this into hell in a cell. Like, in
WWE.
wrestling,
Wrestling, yeah.
that type of vibe.
Didope is saying Cape Town Spurs have been denied a clear penalty. SAFA officials are killing football.
Is it a goal or is it not a goal?
it a goal or is it not a goal?
Denied a penalty.
No. Something else. But it's maybe something that I don't know if Premier League, the Premier League actually is it something that they can maybe look at in the future, whereby you can have the Etihad because they can afford to close their stadium.
Yeah, and even at an hotel.
And
Even the new, I think the new Camp Nou will have an option to close as well,
I'm not sure about Camp now.
because it's under renovation, isn't it?
yeah, I'm sure they'll match what Real Madrid
Do they have
doing.
money?
I don't know.
But is it there?
Spotify will pay for it. Don't worry. Nengwenani. Unfortunately, we cannot show you the game as per the rules and regulations of YouTube. And not only would we be risking our own show and our own platform, we would be creating strikes for the entire network and taking away all the great programming from the Podcast and Chill network. So, first of all, it's illegal. Find the broadcast on DSTV channel 206, which is what I'm currently watching the game on, as we have kicked off in Madrid.
By the way, Cam, you will have a covering at the top.
Oh, danko Tsepi.
Lezenke.
See why?
Research.
See what?
It's a retractable.
Are they gonna put a Lezenke?
It says that the structure will consist of steel cables. And okay, so it's got all these materials, but it will cover the stadium. It's retractable.
First half chance of the fixture is Vinicius Jr. trying to find Jude Bellingham in the box, as Jack Grealish shows why he's in the team to run at the Real Madrid defense. And that's an early foul and an early yellow card for Rudiger.
Yeah, so now it's gonna and
Oh,
now
it's too many.
Tchouaméni.
My apologies.
You know, and getting a yellow card in the first minute of the game, it sort of like puts you now in a
But he
back
got the
foot.
ball first. Wait.
No, he definitely
Oh, I
didn't.
thought he
didn't
got
get
the
the ball
It's a late tackle.
I thought. My apologies. Yo.
You know,
Hey, yo.
the thing is,
Our roof is also closed.
if you want hell in a cell, my friend, we can try.
Our roof is also closed.
So I was saying, Marco, that getting a yellow card in the first minute of the game, it's crazy. It's crazy because now
Yeah.
you've got the entire 90 minutes that you have to guard yourself.
You have to play safe now.
usually forwards who are smart, now they're going to start targeting you and force you to make those mistakes.
And chances are then your coach just might want to then remove you just to avoid you not being able to play in the following match.
No, he is gonna miss. He is
Do you
missing the
understand?
next match. No,
Yeah.
he is.
Or is
Tchouaméni
it?
is missing the
Oh,
next match
okay,
as a
you
result
see.
of that yellow.
Nazo.
It's just now avoiding playing with 10 men.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to find more information on broadcasters who are currently streaming the game. Unfortunately, I don't know of any.
And it's a goal.
And there's an
Manchester
opening goal
City
for
goal.
Manchester City, as we talk, and it's Bernardo Silva who scored it. In the opening minutes of the
Do not
game,
waste
Manchester
time.
City lead in Madrid. Wow.
What a game!
In a close
what
stadium.
a goal! And you
Already.
can just see it's a goal from practice. They're gonna show us a replay now. You can just see that it's rehearsed.
Question marks on the goalkeeper there, Len Moleko. Could have done more.
Positioning, I think he could have done more.
And this is a player who's in for.
Let's have a look. Look, Len.
Yeah,
His
definitely
react-
should have done more.
His reaction, it's as if like he reacted or he mistimed the ball.
Yeah, I think his reaction was
the
was
bounce.
his reaction was delayed.
Once
So-
the ball bounced and skidded.
You also have to question tactically to have the one-man wall there instead of having a bigger wall for Bernardo Silva. I mean, they've made it fairly easy for him. Positioning of the goalkeeper also not great. And then he could have done better, and I don't think anyone will be more disappointed than him. And that is a bit of a double punishment there for Real Madrid. First of all, the yellow card, which has Tchouaméni struggling for the rest of the game, but they also trail by a goal now, super sub.
No, definitely. They're in a back foot now, and the question will be: will they give it a full go now, or try and stick to the game plan, and see if they can equalize?
Maybe Madrid themselves are finding themselves in unfamiliar territory. I don't know if in the La Liga they have experimented with playing with the roof closed.
Alan, I don't think it.
Do you think that's a contributing factor that match? Exactly.
It could.
Yeah, look, I
You
don't
know,
know.
when you're playing home fixtures away from home, or when you're playing fixtures in unfamiliar territory. Yeah, you can't find things where you normally just reach out your hand and get them.
Tokozani saying that this game should have been on 203.
No, big games are playing on 203.
You would have something to say.
I was thinking about it actually when I was coming here that we're actually also missing one of the big games. I so wish the Arsenal game was tomorrow.
Two, and then we do two
No.
watchalongs back to back.
No.
Oh.
We
Either or
to-
just to have the opportunity to watch
It's the
both
other one,
matches.
yeah.
We can
because
watch
it's
Arsenal.
difficult watching
We
them
can watch Arsenal
simultaneously.
during the second half.
King saying,
Arena.
King saying, I told you all that Bernardo shows up against Real Madrid. He was the difference maker in the Champions League last
With the
season
brace,
for
eh? Was it a
Manchester, with
brace?
the
I can't remember, yeah.
But it was
absolutely.
just poor goalkeeping from Lunin.
I agree. And as I was saying, with the goalkeeper's error, I would certainly put that down to goalkeeper's error, that
That's
goal.
it.
With Azpilicueta sitting on the bench for Real Madrid, He's a player that's probably not going to get a renewed offer for his loan, as Jude Bellingham goes down and the referee wants none of it.
Yeah, usually, I mean, in games like these, it's a very big game. You know, as a ref, you also want to step your authority, but as well, you also don't want to spoil the game. You know, you want to keep the game flowing.
So was that yellow? Was that yellow? Was it too much of a?
I think
it was too much of
happy.
It was too much of a dangerous play, that yellow.
Ooh.
So I think that normally I would offer a yellow card for that foul by Chumeni.
Yeah.
It was a late tackle. It was a bit hard. It
Didn't
might
get
be
the
dangerous
ball.
because Grealish and
And he's attacking.
and Grealish was really on the stretch, on the run, so it could be dangerous as well. So I think it is a fair yellow. However, as a referee, you're really putting yourself in a box yourself by offering a yellow card that early in the game.
Because essentially what it then means is you are creating expectations in the match going forward.
Exactly. So now you'll have to be consistent, right?
Precisely.
And also, I don't think not consistent per se. Well, we wish you'd become consistent, but I think more so than anything, it then becomes a case of, okay, ref, you've given a yellow for
Haaland with the next shot on target. Lunin does better there. Oh, great. Terrific pieces of play. Bodies in
Madrid
the
is
way.
struggling.
Why do I feel like Jack Grealish took too long there? He should have pulled the trigger quicker than he did. But I was saying, with the ref...
You can see what the ref is doing. Vinny was looking for a foul.
Exactly, that's what I was alluding
Just like
to.
as
actually.
Foden was looking for a foul on the other
Therefore,
side. So I think he's trying to keep the game flowing, you know.
But because it's already a
Mpulelo
yellow,
But because of the
Konyosa, we
precedent
will
he
not
set.
show the game here on YouTube. You'll have to find your own broadcaster
Marco,
for that one.
But I'm saying yes, because the ref was trying to assert his dominance, just to say that I don't want any funny play.
Yeah.
But that is also then going to lead to everyone then saying, but what about my foul? You know what I mean?
Yeah, again,
He's
also,
created a-
we know how players can be in situations like these. They're
course.
always trying to play to the ref whistles, you know,
course.
and usually when the ref does this, they usually get it right. I remember, I think it's the game Manchester City against Arsenal. You remember, Alan, that game? The referee allowed the
Yes.
game to flow, and he also made some mistake where there were like crucial fouls that he should have given. But
Also, when you're used to watching Premier League football where the refereeing is ever so slightly more lenient than in the European game, I think it's also difficult for us to perceive it in the same manner, in the same light. European football tends to have a harsher set of refereeing standards in a way,
Yeah,
because
but
the
I
rules
think-
are the same, but the refereeing standards are certainly stricter
Yeah.
on the continent than it is in Premier League football.
But I think it's also quite difficult for a ref to go into a match of this magnitude and then decide also what type of personality or how it's going to go about it, you know? You don't want to be too lenient, neither do you want to be too aggressive in your decisions. So there needs to be some type of balance. So I'm yet to see exactly how it's going to go about it.
City applying the press.
yeah, they're playing the press. They're trying to force Real Madrid to make the mistake.
And there's the mistake that's
That's it.
as you said. Real Madrid just have to survive at the minute. Manchester
They have
City
to.
applying all the pressure, and Real Madrid just need to survive and then get a hold on this game. They've got
Yes.
the quality in their squad, and that is a terrific save on the near post, actually, by Luna. And the reactions in that save, it
Was
looked
it
like it was
going in?
heading ever so slightly wide anyway.
If anything,
but
it
still
was
a
going to hit
terrific-
the upright.
yeah, but still a terrific save.
Yeah.
Vinny Jr.'s touch on his stride, letting him down ever so slightly, but I mean, you can't.
There's a level of
criticize that.
disjoint that I'm seeing.
In the Madrid team.
Yes.
And that's understandable then, because I mean, I don't think anyone was anticipating that in the first minute of the match that there was going to be a goal. So I think whatever plans they had obviously are now going to be a bit, you know, detoured just a little bit. So they just need to
Compose
come
themselves.
back and exactly. So that goal there just, you know, threw them off a little bit. But I'm expecting them to come back. They just need to organize themselves.
And
but
you
the
can
more
see-
the more you try to organize yourself,
Yeah.
the more you
Time.
you allow City to smell more blood.
and more confidence on the ball and finding those passes, you know.
Yeah. I feel
City
like
have
City
started to
just got
string
in
themselves
aggressive.
properly now.
Yeah.
Yes. Now Isaac's on the comments saying, I'm trying to not look impressed. I just want to watch Arsenal, and I'm in prison. I'm in prison now.
Oh wow.
I'm imprisoned by these City and Real Madrid fans up in here.
Look at you.
So please avoid updating Len Moleko on that Arsenal game.
Yes.
He wants to watch it
Me, I'm going
as
to
like
update.
it's live.
If you do, I'm gonna walk away. Who did anybody ever walk away?
No spoilers.
No. Don't worry. The her is not going to move me. What do you call it? But anyway, I lose my trail of thought. But yeah.
Harry Kane does have a lot of goals against Arsenal. If we can move on to that fixture for a moment.
Yeah, but
Harry Kane has goals,
Hurricane of
period.
Spurs, not Hurricane of Bayern.
And the
But
previous
Harry
time,
Kane of Bayern Munich has scored more goals than anyone else in a debut season in German football.
yeah, he's working against workers at Mercedes-Benz and BMW.
Lord, no respect for the
Madrid,
German
Madrid,
Bundesliga
Madrid.
game
What
from
is
Len
this?
Moleko.
Except for players from Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Dortmund. The rest are they're just plumbers there at Mercedes-Benz there.
So, getting back to the Real Madrid-Manchester City game, super sub Jack Grealish was the player I was questioning in terms of his selection over Kevin De Bruyne, because he's perhaps the one that I thought would be compromised, where Phil Foden or Bernardo Silva could be playing on that flank, and then Kevin De Bruyne could fit into the role that Phil Foden is currently playing. But Jack Grealish won the free kick that was converted by Bernardo Silva early in the game with his pace and running.
yeah, definitely, and that's the idea that's the reason why he's starting this game, because you want a ball carrier, you want somebody that's gonna run at defense, and you also want somebody that's gonna track back. You can see how deep he's playing. So when we are attacking, he's gonna be in the forefront of attack, and then when we're defending, he has to track back as well.
Real Madrid finally
very-
showing some quality
and
in
I'm
the
seeing
game
that
and starting to get a little bit more confidence and more touches on the ball.
But do you see that the pace has also slowed a bit?
Well,
of the match, yeah.
the back and forth, I would say, is
Slowed.
slowed, but a lot of very quick passing from Real Madrid. So the quick passing is what's allowing them to get past this Manchester City press. Manchester City's alignment on the pitch and positioning is fantastic already in the first place, but then the closing down
This looks like
is
a goal.
terrific. Camavinga with the deflected shot, and it equalizes the game.
Now
That's
it's game
a
on.
really
Game on.
That is a really, really tough one
Let's go.
on
Because-
Manchester City
yes.
because of this, just the
On
sheer
how they were playing, and then to lose position, and it came from, I can't remember, they're going to show us somebody passed the ball and then lost possession. You don't want to do that when you're playing a game of this magnitude.
And the other thing is, did you see the patient build-up that Real Madrid had?
terrific. Tony Kroos, as we said before, is critical to this, and the big
the
deflection,
Deflection, yes.
is that's hard on Ortega because I mean, there's nothing he can do with the size of that deflection.
There's nothing you can do.
As it deflects off of Ruben Diaz, the captain for Manchester City, nothing that anyone can do for
Don
that. But
Carlo.
compliments to Real Madrid in terms of the quality of the build-up. Yes, the finish was a big deflection, but we
I'm
were just
seeing-
singing the praises of Real Madrid coming back into the game, the
Yes.
quality, the
They're
swiftness
organising
of
themselves
the play.
again, yep.
And that quick passing is what helped them get past the Manchester City press. Their first shot at goal that I can remember in the fixture, and it's turned into a goal and now leveled things up.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is, City, do you almost do they were sitting back, right? A lot, and allowing Real Madrid to have the majority of the possession. Do you now go for it, open the game up, and play the City that played in the first 5 or so minutes after they got the goal? Or do you continue going for it?
It looks like they're continuing going for it.
Certainly no change for Manchester City as it looks now. They're looking to use the pace and those ball carriers to get up at Real Madrid and make life difficult for them. And here's Real Madrid on the
That's the pace
counter.
that we were
That is a
talking about.
great ball. And now it's very difficult for Kanji to deal with. And
what
what
a
a
cheeky-
finish
oh my word.
by
Oh.
Rodrigo. Oh my goodness. What a finish from him. And the game is spun on its head at 2-1.
Did you see how gently he just
Like,
guided that ball into
He
the
just
net?
kissed it.
So Akanji seemed to have recovered well there, super sub, and he
and
was
this
the
is-
replacement for Kyle Walker, and they knew that the pace
There is
in
no
that
pace,
position
and
was
this is
going
the
to be.
biggest problem that I was referring to before the game started. That on those flanks, when you don't have pace, it's problematic. This just reminded me of how Vinicius Junior showed what's his name, Fernandinho. You remember that game?
Yes.
It's the exact same goal.
Oh, another deflection as well.
Another deflection hard on City. Akanji working really hard to get
Oh,
back.
wait, what?
No, no, no.
Not a
Doesn't
deflection.
look
No.
like there
It was
was.
That is
vision
just
more
a
than anything.
terrific finish.
Yeah.
He's held up the ball.
He saw the legs were open
There is
and
a
he
big
went for it.
deflection. There is a big deflection.
Oh,
Akanji on
With
the
the- with the-
instep of his right foot there. The instep
Oh,
of
there
his
you
right
go.
foot
Yes.
off the
Oh, just a
heel.
little bit.
And it deflects into the bottom corner. Nothing that anyone can do after that one. Terrific ball from Vinicius Jr. to get Rodrigo running in on goal. I'd also like to just mention that if you did match my bet on the Betway app, you'd be 1.58 better off as things stand already. Only 15 minutes into the game, and you'd have been a winner on the Betway app, choosing both teams to score for this fixture.
City going for it, looking like they...
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a game, and this is what I
Can I ask
enjoy
Shots for
about
my
this.
charger? Sorry, Super Sub. Shots, can you bring me my charger? Thanks. It's inside my bag.
I feel like City's missing, Kyle.
Welcome to our conversation about charges, ballers.
Yeah.
We are charging this because this match is getting us charged up. Hey, we are charged.
So, Marco, I was saying that a game like this, the reason I enjoy
Not a
it
foul.
so much.
Interesting.
Yeah, look, I mean, you can't be at this point in time, you know the ref is not just gonna be giving those wherever you can stand your ground and you are in danger of getting an attack.
And
You
saw
have to stand your ground.
You saw the interesting bit was you can give it to Super Sub, who'll pass it to me, who'll pass it to Marco, who'll pass it to, it's like a baton.
Super Sub, don't you want to walk here and...
Yeah, no. Nah,
So I was saying,
I'm good in my seat. You know, I've got the most comfortable seat in the room. Ballers.
it's like I was saying, Jack Grealish, when the ball was coming to him,
Yeah.
just before that tackle or the charge of the shoulder, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
he almost made his body like dead, so that whoever comes to him just shrugs him aside,
Yeah,
and he hopefully gets
And then he
gets a foul.
Yeah.
And the ref was like, not today, which I think was a good call.
Yeah, well, that is the what you call, he has set the standard, the ref, that you know what, if
That's
you're
it.
gonna go out there look for a foul, I'm not just gonna be dishing out fouls, and in a game like this, and you can see that it's going against you, you want to stand your ground. And I was saying that in a position that he was, you sort of putting your teammates in under pressure, because you lose that position, Real Madrid are on top of you, they are taking.
And did you see at which part of the field that ball was going? Which means you lose that ball, it's a decision or a foul that goes against you. Then easy peasy lemon squeezy, Real Madrid go catch you on a quick attack, and then they go for it again. And we can see on the wings, they actually have very speedy players.
Yeah, and you can see Real Madrid now, the goals have sort of given them the confidence back, and they're starting to get that
composure.
shape.
Yep.
City are sort of like battling to penetrate now.
And
I'll
more than
be-
anything, guys, I really do feel like right now City is in need on the right for Kyle Walker. You can see that it's leaking on the right.
They'll see him next week.
On the right, yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's not there. He's injured. There's
Yeah.
nothing much you can do.
Unfortunately.
You have to. I mean,
You have to make
City's a
do.
massive club. You have to do with what you have, and
Yeah.
they have won games without Kyle Walker, and it's just
Yeah.
a matter of
But they weren't playing Real Madrid.
you have to time.
That's
You
the
you have
thing.
to time those forwards because they are quicker. So you have
Well,
to be
as we mentioned, Kyle Walker not being available there, that's a terrific pass in through by Akanji to release John Stones, who's playing right wing, it seems. He has the first goal from Camavinga in the replay. Terrific
goal.
terrific build-up play. The strikes seem to be going ever so slightly wide of the right post, then deflects.
Do you know
in.
how?
And I also think, sorry, Len, I also think like City allowed Camavinga so much space in that instant, and the same thing again, they're not closing those gaps,
So I think that the game's going to continue to open up as things stand. There seems to be chances on both sides of the pitch now for both Real Madrid and Manchester City. And I think there shouldn't be too much concern from City at this point, because there will be more chances in this game for them for sure.
But if okay, cool. Scenario. Oh, I was gonna say 2 points I wanted to make, or the first one, and then I'll go to the one that I wanted to make now. First one, you know how dejecting it is as a goalkeeper to see a goal going in after it got deflected from one of your players.
Oh, I'm sure
It's like I was diving the right direction, and then you just look at the ball going in there. It's like you almost feel like your heart being ripped out of your chest. type of thing.
I'm sure it's
sad.
very disheartening.
I know this because I was one of the. What?
Please go on. Please go on about how you were one of the best goalkeepers.
When I was playing with Bokeza in Campos, you know Campos from Mexico.
It's all gone now.
You were where? What?
Yes, I was playing with Campos from Mexico.
Where were you playing?
In Mexico. Yeah.
So you played in Mexico. You played with Jomosono.
And Keza
And
Mutau.
Keza Mutau.
And Schillaci. And Maradona when he was starting off. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention is...
Also, you forgot to mention that you were friends with Pele.
Oh, yes. Me and Pele used to stay in the same favelas.
Condolences.
Yeah, a couple of years later. Scoreline 2-1. Game remains back and forth. Surely City will fancy themselves in the return leg.
No, definitely. It's not all lost. I mean, and I don't think this is the end of our seeing goals in this
face
fixture.
when you said it's not all lost.
No, I don't think it is all lot. I'm shaking my head because we're talking about the second leg. We're in the 20th minute of the
That's
first
what I'm
leg.
saying. I was about to say, I don't think this is going to be the final score. I still
This
think
is not
it's
the
a
final
fixture.
score today.
Not at
There's
all.
more goals in this game.
I think so too.
Goals for a win or goals for a draw?
So
Oh,
It doesn't matter. There will be goals.
No, I'm just interested.
Naomi's saying, Len, you're overqualified. I'd like to just bring up one thought here because not many rumors about Manchester City strengthening their squad in the summer. We don't really have them connected to a large number of players now at the moment. I think possibly because their squad is pretty full and they're not losing anyone seemingly as yet unless Bernardo Silva does
to
go
Barca.
to
But
Barcelona.
it's just renewed.
Then-
But Jay, anything is possible.
Anything is possible, but only at that point would we start talking about who replaces who at Manchester City. But otherwise, we're not really expecting them to strengthen their squad. However, Real Madrid, who are leading against the holders of the Champions League, a team competing on every front in football, and they're strengthening this team even more in the summer.
Look at that run.
As we're expecting them to not only acquire, of course, Kylian Mbappe, but Endrick has already signed for them and he'll be joining. And we mentioned Pele, Endrick, the new young Pele from Brazil, and a number 9, which we don't see necessarily in this Real Madrid side here today. There's not really a number 9. There's two, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, who are both playing as sort of center forwards who can play wide, etc.
Yeah, he's going to be a terrific addition to Real Madrid. You know, already this team, it's like proper oiled. So that addition, it's definitely just going to make things even...
Yo.
Did you see
Terrific piece of
Jude,
skill
what
from
are you
Jude
doing?
Bellingham.
Yo,
Jude, what are you
to
doing?
release Toni Kroos. But I think more impressive than that little piece of skill from Jude Bellingham was how Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, and Toni Kroos have closed down the midfield since Real Madrid have been in the ascendancy again, making life extremely hard for Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Kovacic in that Man City midfield. As soon as they get the ball, they've got white shirts all over them.
And Rodri is the kind of player that when you watch him play on week in, week out, it's as if he can never put a foot wrong. He always finds a way out of situations. News coming in is that Banyana were beaten on aggregate.
And also very good point there now, Isaac's connected to Paqueta and Savio, who I mentioned for his good work at Granada in the Spanish La Liga.
We know how that thing works.
We know how that thing works. City Football Group.
Yeah, and somebody's not going to say anything, but we'll leave him. It's okay. But hard luck, Banyana.
that sucks.
Yeah.
This is so wrong.
So
This guy.
Don't read it.
Man.
don't read it. So Banyana now do not qualify for the Olympics. Len Moleko.
Yeah, sad. Just
it's-
like literally, like just one hurdle and you are there. But again, Nigeria is a force to be reckoned with. We
And
must
it's so
remember.
unfortunate because Nigeria is our arch rival, and I was saying this earlier. So
Was
it's,
it-
it's even more hurtful that they've lost against Nigeria.
It was a physical fixture for the ladies. From what I saw, it was a real battle. A lot of
sure.
cuts, bruises,
Is it?
hard tackles, etc.
And our goals are not big physically, you know.
Not Granada, Girona. Sorry, that's
Girona.
what we were thinking about, yes. Thank you very much, Neo
Danko.
Isaacs. So yeah, I'm gutted for. I mean, we just
There's
came back
risk
from.
goals.
Yes, we just came back from a World Cup. And we went to the knockouts along with Nigeria as well. So
I just hate losing to that nation, but story
Even
for
me,
another day.
friend. I'm in my feelings. hard.
June is around the corner. Ne? I'm not suggesting anything.
Ballers, thanks for the update there. Sundowns versus Cape Town Spurs.
I think Sundowns won that game. Last
They
I checked, it
were
was still
winning
1-0.
1-0.
The last time I checked. Yeah, it's 1-0 in added time. Ribeiro has pulled off. He should be the leading goal scorer now. Was that a... Oh,
No, it was a
Sorry,
highlight.
play lane.
okay.
It was a
Okay,
replay.
that is a
Calm down.
scoreline that has...
Okay, but now I'm not allowed to talk about the other match.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
so you are.
no.
No, but I
Why?
want to.
it's already ruined for you in
But
those
I-
YouTube comments.
It's no. But if you talk about it, what's the point? Because the ballers we said we watching Real
Len,
Madrid and Man
Len, you
City.
can't be a
So
dictator
why
here.
we?
Do you want to change it over? Do you want to watch the game?
No, it's fine, guys.
We'll have a vote.
No, our invite was let's watch Real Madrid and Man City.
Let's watch the two best teams in world football play against each other
Yes.
instead of the team that's currently leading the Premier League.
That's what we-
Congratulations
that's
on
what
that,
we
by the
agreed.
way.
That's a little bit ambitious from Vinicius Junior, Emaka.
Yeah, that was a real rugby strike there. It's, going for
Yeah,
for posts.
So do you think
he
it's
wants
time
to
for
be
De Bruyne to
Dupont.
be introduced or
it's still too soon.
Still soon for him?
It's still too soon.
Okay.
The minute you make a sub, you're not an Aston Villa coach. Was it Aston Villa or was it Fulham who made changes in the 30th minute? of the
Jose
match?
Mourinho's famous for it.
Yes. No,
I
I'm
mean,
talking about like in
there's
recent weeks.
Unless there's a tactical shift, that
Or
is
an
like
injury.
or injury, or you want to change your formation. But
also-
as is, I think the game is flowing well.
Yeah, that would imply that there's panic stations.
Yeah.
And I don't think that either side needs to panic. Obviously, Real Madrid are leading, so there's no need to panic from them.
No.
And Manchester City are still very much in this fixture, let alone the entire tie.
They're still within striking range.
And they're still going to create more chances. They know that they've got the quality up front
Yeah.
there. There's a lot of quality on the bench as well. And I think that they'll be introduced around the 50th or 60th minute instead of necessarily
Now.
half time even. I think that the more likely substitution that we'll see at half time is Tchouameni being substituted because of that yellow card that he received early
Like
in
I
the
said,
game.
yep.
And that might be the opportunity for Militao to come and join this Real Madrid side.
But
And
that
again,
can't be
if you
an
look
early,
at
then
how
they
City-
can never be an early
You
sub
want-
if that's
No,
the case.
I think half time would be the likely time that we'd see.
I would say 60th
yeah, I
minute.
Sure.
feel like halftime would be too early for him.
So I think halftime would be the earliest we're going to see a change in this game. Both
Okay.
teams still in it. Real Madrid passing the ball
There's
swiftly and
something
slick.
There's something slick and silky and sexy the way Jude Bellingham literally moves the
alliteration.
ball around.
Silky and sexy and what, Fred?
Legendary me. Nigeria killed us twice this year. AFCON and now the Olympics. Ay.
Eish.
They are not going to the World Cup. Don't worry. We'll get our revenge. We will.
Bafana will deal with them.
Yeah,
Ah.
hopefully.
Qualifiers.
We still have them home and away, right?
Yeah, Sundown still have them home and away.
Oh, yes. Well, that's if the ball is in properly.
Hey.
But anyway, those are controversies for another day. But yeah, as it seems like
That's a
here
foul.
and there, City are being made to
Another
chase
challenge.
shadows.
Oh, okay.
It seems like they are being made to chase a game that they would normally be playing, where they get the opponents to be looking for the ball. Now it's as if Madrid is making City look for the ball.
I think if we were to see the charts that we often see in
It's
terms
gonna
of
be
the
almost
ebb and flow.
50-50.
Yeah, I agree. I think the opening 12 to 13 minutes of the fixture were dominated
City.
by Manchester City
Yes,
in
definitely.
terms of
It was.
control of possession, the slickness and the movement of the ball, the threat on goal, etc. And now Real Madrid have been on the ascendancy, and I think that it really is a very balanced game. And I've been saying since before we started that these are the two best teams in world football, and I really believe that. And that's what we're seeing on show today.
So
not only are we saying that it's a balanced game, it's a balanced game between two terrific sides that are playing terrific football. And if this is what came up against the Manchester United side, you better believe they get absolutely punished.
On probability, Real Madrid have a 61% chance of winning this game, 15% for Man City, and 24% a draw.
That is a very high, very low probability considering that they're leading the fixture.
No, they've got
Yeah, but
60%.
No,
That's what I'm saying. That's
60
still
to
low.
40.
that it's only 60% when you're leading a fixture as Real Madrid at home.
It would be like
But
80.
If this was a La Liga game and they were leading 2-1, it would be in the high 70s in terms of win probability.
It's
my
also
argument,
the opponent, huh?
It's exactly
one there, two, it's only the 30th minute and the difference is 1 goal. That is why I think the draw probability is higher than the Man City winning probability.
I agree. So it is interesting. Again, like I said, that's not as high a probability as I would expect for Real Madrid at home leading a fixture. I would be placing their probability higher. However, I'm not the advanced supercomputers that they're using to check all the algorithms in this, as Real Madrid attack once again. And it's
Where is
cover
Jack
up.
Grealish when his person that is supposed to be
Another
tracking
strike.
is making an attack?
Another strike on target from Rodrigo, not able to whip his foot around the ball quite as much. And here Jack Grealish is on the counter attack. And
That's
perhaps
you were asking where's Jack Grealish.
there's the answer.
Yeah,
up
so
the pitch.
definitely was waiting for the ball from.
for
But
the
you're,
release.
but to be honest, Jack Grealish, you're there on the pitch to do both jobs, right?
Yeah,
you're a
you have
runner.
to go. Yeah, you have to run with your player.
If you're not going to be the runner that you're talking about there, super sub, surely Kevin De Bruyne is the better option.
Yeah,
If you're going to
definitely.
just be standing upfield there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
then in
Because he
terms of-
already looked tired.
But
Yeah.
then who's got leg? Who's got like longer legs? Not longer legs. Like whose legs can carry them longer?
Ballers, thank you for the
there's still
updates. I'm
Rico
just
Lewis.
going to
And that's why we're saying
let
that
Len
in the
Moleko
second
know
half.
not to look at the comments.
No, it's fine. I know what the score is.
What is the score, friend?
I know what the score is.
What is it?
It's 1-1.
Is it?
Okay.
I haven't checked.
Don't look at the comments. It's fine. Believe in your...
But he cannot not look at the
No,
comments.
no. Because of the things that I'm doing and the
It's
probability.
not 1-1, friend.
Oh, Bayern scored. Okay, I last saw it at 1-1.
Harry Kane amongst the goals. Thank you for the
That's right,
updates.
Oh, that's the
Ballers.
penalty. Oh, I saw something about a penalty.
Yeah.
And then who scored? Kane, most probably.
Harry
obviously.
Yeah, he does love a goal against Arsenal.
No, when he gets, I mean, it's a penalty. He barely creates for himself. But anyway. And again, it's only the first leg.
I apologize. I'm a friend here. I'm coming to you as a friend.
No.
Please do not attack me.
I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just saying. But yeah, going back to the game that we're watching now. There's Jack on the attack. You see him more up front than you see him.
Jack on the attack. Did he?
Oh, that
Jack
was
Grealish
beautiful.
with a great opportunity
Yeah,
there.
That was.
His calves that big that he takes that long to shoot. This is the second time he does it.
Another quality
They're
back
heavy.
heel from Vinny Jr. as he releases
Another
Rodrigo down the side. Now Vinny Jr. 1-on-1.
With
And he picks out
Ruben Diaz.
Rodrigo with the strike, and it's ever so slightly
Oh,
wide of
close.
goal.
Oh,
and that
Rodrigo's on
could have
fire.
been
I literally
3-1.
counted it like top corner.
corner. Same
Whoa.
here. Let's see this angle.
Jack Grealish.
Oh, the opportunity. Jack Grealish's opportunity there.
Vinny.
Oh, it's
Oh,
far out.
it's
Exactly
deflected
far.
for a...
It's way out.
Okay, so it's mishit. It looked like it deflected off of Stones there even.
Is the technique that he hit it with?
Should he have gone with the inside of the foot?
I think so, because it
could
was
have
going to
gone
curve
in.
inside.
Yes, exactly.
So like Boma finesse nyana vibe there.
Kanyane
R2 circle or R1 circle.
Um,
Forgot which one it is, but yeah, one of those.
as a Real Madrid fan, I'd say that my
R1
one
friend
concern
On
with
the right.
this game
R1, my friend.
would be the openness of it. I think with Real Madrid in control of the scoreline in many ways, I would try to prevent this game from being as open as it is. And it's quite end-to-end at the moment. Real Madrid hitting on the counter-attack. Terrific challenge by Ruben Diaz.
That
on
was a
Jude
very
Bellingham.
good recovery because he was falling
Incredible.
asleep there.
And
But you know what I like? Do you see that the ref just moved on once again?
Well, because
Yeah,
it was a
look.
fair tackle.
Yeah.
He got the ball.
He got
Yep.
the ball.
So, and there, Real Madrid now on the
Once
attack.
again, Camavinga. Is it Camavinga? I can't
That is
see.
Camavinga,
Ah.
and he
That was
plays
Camavinga.
in Vinicius Jr., who
That was a push.
that
Okay.
is a
That should be
foul.
that should be a foul.
Correct.
No, Vinny.
Come
No,
on,
Vinny.
baby.
So as I was saying, I think the game is a bit too
It
end
looks like
to
he's saying
end.
the P word, Len, from Narcos.
That is a terrific challenge by Ruben Diaz. And if Ruben Diaz does not make that challenge in the clean manner that he does, Jude Bellingham is
Was
in on
gone.
goal,
What is
and
this?
that
Is this
would,
a free kick or it
as
can't
we've
be a
seen
pen?
from
Shouldn't
Jude.
be.
No,
What
no,
is
no,
it?
He
that,
got the
nothing
ball.
at all. He got the
Okay.
ball. No,
Okay.
nothing at all. That's what Jude Bellingham's complaining about, saying that to the referee that that should have been a foul. He
Yeah.
says no free kick.
I've got the earplug. I'll hear if there was
Well-
anything untoward.
Well, you see, because that is now a VAR decision because he would have been in on goal and that could be deemed a red card
Yeah. Because
But
he was
the
the last
ball-
man.
because he was the last
Yes,
man.
but the ball was left behind, and he's the one who tripped on the player.
Well, first of all, Ruben
let's
Diaz wins the ball. You see
Yes,
there, he
there.
wins the ball.
Yes.
So it is not a red card. I believe VAR would make the right decision here. Certainly not a red card. And compliments to Ruben Diaz, who's one of the best centre backs in world football.
Rudiger.
Especially because he's Portuguese, I suppose.
Rudiger. Rudiger looks like he's
Bernardo
got-
Silva twisting and turning.
Again, we're gonna go on the Haaland conversation. Looks like Rudiger's got him nicely tucked into the pocket. Whenever Haaland tries to make a move, Rudiger's breathing down his neck. So we're seeing the same thing over and over again with regards to. It's as if defenders have now found a way on how to deal with
On
Haaland.
pocketing him.
You almost like, how can I put it? You almost like don't let him breathe.
Yeah,
That's
no.
how you get him off his game. And then let the others try close the pockets. You could see Bernardo Silva dancing up and down.
That's
Phil
Jude
Foden has been-
retaliating, eh, Marco? Jude retaliating from that tackle.
Yeah. So he's, little British personal 1-for-1 there in the Real Madrid squad.
So let's continue.
What's his face? Phil Foden. His channels are also closed. I haven't seen a lot from him since, I think, after the first goal. So it seems like Real Madrid have went for their target players.
Yeah, Kamavinga is on his tail as well. You
Yes.
We're talking about the tactical masterclass in this fixture between Carlo Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola. I think both managers have done well to set up to limit chances in a way, but the game is quite open purely because of the pace and the energy and the quality in these players in terms of their ability to move the
Another
game ball
yellow.
around quickly. A yellow card now
Is that
for
for-
Manchester
for-
City
is it for
player.
Diaz? Who was awarded the yellow?
It looks like it's Rodri.
A Kanji with the yellow card, it seems.
Is it
Akanji,
Akanji?
yes. Yeesh.
So yes, a yellow card for the pull on Vinicius Junior as he spins around
I think
the
it's a
Akanji.
bit soft, Marco. Look at that.
Let's see another angle.
He doesn't seem to be complaining. I think the slow motion replay makes it a bit deceptive. But he has pulled him with the arm, and I think that's what's led the referee to go to his pocket on that one.
And it could also be a
As-
case of like, yo, I need to balance the scales. Remember, I gave these ones a yellow. Let me give a yellow this side.
We
I
did
was
mention consistency early in
and
the game. That's a completely different challenge.
You can't
though.
be
I
like
think
Ian
there's no need.
McLeod, Len. When you give a penalty
What
on
you
the
do on
other
the
side,
left,
you
you do
give a
on the
penalty
right.
on the other
Yeah.
side. Red card on the other side, you must balance the
I agree, you are
equation.
balancing the equation. You know, so that's
Oh,
what
may
the,
his soul rest in peace,
yeah,
man.
that's what the ref is. It looks like that's what the ref is trying to do. He has just not received a good incident for him to do that with. So that presented a chance to say, okay, cool. Where the situation with the ball was, this is what I'm going to use to hand out that yellow card.
Whichever English team gets eliminated will win the Premier League, says Gift Real G.
Okay, that's ambitious.
Do you think that if Manchester City were to get eliminated from the Champions League at this stage, does that bode well for them in terms of their ability to go on for FA Cup and Premier League with both Liverpool and Arsenal still competing in European competition?
Whoever is
Who's this gospel person?
who-
Sir Minar, the gospel says, Marco, can you borrow Len your captain's armband to wear? I want to see
You
something.
must earn it.
Thank you.
Izzy wants to see something.
Captain is captain.
You don't just hand over captain.
Who's that? It's the first time we're hearing him on comments. He wants the captain arm belt.
No,
Bro,
he wants it to
no,
change.
he wants Marco to give
He
it
wants
to Len.
to see
Len.
something.
Oh.
He says.
Hey, Usile,
Joe.
No, captaincy doesn't change. This is not.
can you see why the referee? Okay, there was a little bit of.
But do you see there was contact?
It was not intentional. Though.
Yes, but there was.
There was. I thought
Yeah.
he was asking for a foul.
Thank you.
But at this level, that's what you do.
Not looking good for the English sides now currently. However, they are playing against the two most successful teams, I believe, in European competition history, unless Bayern Munich have one fewer Champions League medal than Barcelona. I'd have to look it up.
I can check.
But Real Madrid, this is their competition. And, this is a little bit of revenge for them currently. However, once again, this fixture, let alone the tie, is not over. There's a second half to come.
And there's a second leg to come.
And there's a second leg to come. So the game getting more physical as it gets more open. Super sub?
Yeah, no, definitely, And a player like Akanji realized that he does not have the speed. And then as a defender, when you don't have the speed, you have sort of like introduce your, what you call it, there's a term for it, but he's sort of like flexing his muscles there in that position. This is my space, and
I think just
so
as we
Bayern
mentioned
has-
it, legendary me saying a red card loading in this game, and you wouldn't be surprised to see one.
yeah,
Just by the way, so Bayern Munich has had 6 titles in Champions League, and Barca has 5.
And AC Milan,
AC Milan is probably the closest to Real Madrid.
probably.
Arsenal.
I'd imagine 6. Hey,
They don't
hey, Man City fan, yeah.
They don't
with
have
one.
They don't have a Champions League title.
That's why he's saying it.
Yeah, no, I know. I wanted to give him a direct answer because he was trying to troll,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna get.
I asked a
I'm not
question.
gonna fall for it.
I ask you, if you feel like I was trolling, then I was trolling.
These yesterday fans. But yeah, anyway. As I said, and Emmanuel Motapo saying we can't see Foden, which is exactly what I alluded to earlier on.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be sacrificed for De Bruyne.
Milan with 14.
But then you sacrifice him for that.
Madrid with 14.
Madrid with 14. Milan should be closest to that. You sacrifice.
Oh, it's 7. Sorry, it's
There you
7.
go.
14 for Madrid
Real
and
Madrid.
7 for Milan.
Yeah. Vinny Jr.
Ooh.
Another strike on target. Manchester City surely have to deal better with Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo,
Yeah, the
especially
combination
down
of
the left-hand side for
Rodri
Real Madrid.
and Junior are lethal. Lethal combo.
Do you
Yeah, but
change
it
the
was also
setup?
poor, but it was actually poor from Vinicius Junior there. Hey?
Yeah,
One there too, but
I
the
think
way
I think the thing about Vinicius right now is that he is too emotional. You can see that he's not taken well to how the decisions have been made in the match, and he's using his heart. He's in his feelings. If he calms down, if he composes himself, he might deliver.
I think him and Rodrigo have both, on their stride, like while running with the ball, have struggled to wrap their foot around the ball and struck it too directly. Perhaps a little bit of nerves for the big fixture, not able to wrap your foot around the ball as you try to play it more safe. You don't want to miss by a mile and you end up hitting it straight down the keeper's throats. It's an incredibly difficult skill to do while in your stride. Michael Owen will be able to tell you that more than anyone. I think he's the player who made that type of finish famous, where you sort of step far left of the ball and wrap your foot around it and try and curve it into the far corner of the goal.
To be fair, or actually not to be fair, on the balance of things that are happening in this game, the key players, the superstars that we expect to have being... Okay, shot is distracting me, but anyway. I'm just saying, you're distracting me. Because you are here and I'm trying to talk. But anyway,
Just
peripheral. The superstars are not really coming to the party. No Foden, no Haaland.
No Haaland.
No Jude.
Jude is
And
coming
away.
in bits
We
and
don't
pieces.
see
The
Jude.
only person that I can say is there's no Rodri. The only person that I can say is really coming to the fold and being a trouble person
Vinny
is Vinny and
and
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
I think that Tony...
And thingy. Let's also give my boy some props.
Kamavinga, yes,
Let's give my boy
he's
props.
he's doing his work
He is.
very
Diligently.
cleanly, but
Very
not
diligent.
making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
which a defensive midfielder does well. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're not picking a player out in that position, they tend to be doing a good job.
Oh, but that's beautiful
I
football.
mean, I bet you
Rodrigo now with an opportunity to perhaps have a strike at goal, and he just sort of dallies on the ball. And Tony Kroos, a man who I was about to compliment in terms of the quality of his performance.
Rudiger
in this
looks
game.
like he's on holiday somewhere in Cape Verde or the Bahamas.
You can see Akanji, he's positioning himself
Away.
in a way that he has to live a little bit of like a meter or a meter and a half from Vini, from Rodrigo because of that pace. So he wants to be ahead if Vini has to Rodrigo has to be released.
But also at the back of his mind, even in that chase, he needs to be aware that one touch or 1 foot wrong, he's out of this game.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So a return to the lineups for the team and just looking at the substitute benches for both teams. Jeremy Doku is a player who's on the bench for Manchester City. Could you perceive the switching of the defensive line to a back three with wing backs? Perhaps Jeremy Doku playing at right or left wing back and allowing maybe Jack Grealish to switch to the opposing flank?
I would like to keep it the same. If our Pep and I have to introduce your Doku, I will have to do like for like.
You'd imagine like for like.
Yeah, I'll imagine like for like.
And Haaland climbing highest, but
Finally,
he's
we see
well
Haaland in the
defended,
game.
and you can see the big celebrations from the defensive players. Real Madrid's defense really up for this game now after taking the lead.
Question. I know earlier on you guys said this is the game that Haaland needs to actually
To shine.
launch himself, announce his return, as it were. But does the frustration get to him with each game and it almost wears him down with each game that comes? And the games now are coming in thick and fast because
think
with
he's
each game that
resilient.
comes, he's not really showing the Haaland that.
No, he's been scoring. What do you
I
mean?
think he's quite resilient also.
He scored the previous game. The other one he didn't score. The other game he scored like 3 goals.
He's the Premier League's leading goal scorer this season.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's not the Haaland of last season. That's what I mean.
Sometimes you can't always get the same
Sure.
version of
There
a
is
person.
no player like Haaland of last season.
Yeah.
But what I would like to say about Haaland is that in a moment the game can switch on for him because he's not a player that's going to create anything out of his own.
He just need that one opportunity.
He needs an opportunity to come his way, and he'll be ready for it.
Because
And he's been quiet in this game so far, and compliments to Real Madrid for making sure that Haaland is kept quiet.
So I'm referring to, or I'm going to the point that you get the likes of your Foden. Foden has come. He's raised his hand. For the longest time, Foden was criticized on some like, this guy,
Which one
you
is
know,
this one?
he's not make sure type of vibes. But Pep hung with him and made sure that, okay, cool, I'm going to get you to be the player that I want you to be. And look at Foden now and the return on investment, as it were, if I can call it that, that he's doing.
But these
So-
things take time, my friend.
It's with Haaland, or is it the hype that he came with and what he offered the first time around? It's like,
He peaked too early.
I still don't get what you're saying.
He peaked. No,
How many? This guy's got over 30 goals.
Yes, but I
Give
think
me one player right now that's got over 30 goals.
Yes,
One
okay.
player.
Maybe
one.
we can-
I'll wait.
maybe we can look at. Please just check. Let's just look at his stats.
Well, in the Premier League.
How well
Hey,
he
I
was
mean,
doing last
I'm
season
waiting.
compared to now.
wait. A player who's got over 30 goals in which competition?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
Give me one.
Yeah, maybe what
Harry
game is
Kane,
this
actually, he's
is-
on 32.
Yeah, that's Harry Kane.
But it's Harry.
But like we're talking about strikers here, and what do you mean that's Harry Kane?
You're comparing a 30-year-old striker with a 23-year-old
But
striker.
okay, they are both strikers, Chief.
And
That's the point.
They're both doing well.
Well, that's fine. You can go ahead, Tepi.
I even forgot. Oh yes, I was saying maybe we can. When I super sub, I think what Lynn is trying to say here is that maybe the hype or just his overall performance, or maybe because we're not expecting at the time for Haaland to be, the striker that he was, and maybe we are just so used to him now that we expect even more.
Because I mean,
Does that make sense?
with 7 games to go,
Yeah,
really, wait.
Where
be-
was he last
between-
season
between-
when
between-
it came to
between-
goals compared to now?
With 7 games to go, right, between Salah and Oli Watkins, there's only a difference of 2 goals between the 3 of them.
Yeah,
Just like
so?
how the league table is looking.
It's
What I'm
competitive.
saying is, Erling Haaland of the season is not as fiery a striker as he was
City
last
as
season.
a whole is not as firing as last season. You can't pinpoint it to Haaland. That's what I'm trying to say.
But he was the one who was bringing the goals,
well, other players were bringing the goals, and they were more
contributing here and there.
there was Gundogan who was there. There was Mahrez who was there.
In the big games, in the Champions League primarily, yes.
I'm telling
Okay.
I'm saying that the entire City team is not as firing as it was last season.
Super Sub, your thoughts on the first half as we do go in for half-time with Real Madrid leading Manchester City in Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final by 2-1.
Yeah, I think towards the end of the first half, I think City was really getting into the final third of Real Madrid, and I think if going to the break, I don't think there's anything that you need to change. I think if I was Pep, I was gonna just ask my players to keep that line, track back. We're finding that Jack Grealish, when there's an attack, is not really tracking back, and then he's taking longer to cover his spaces, which leave an opening, and sort of maybe get an inversion between maybe. But also that could be dangerous. But you need somebody that's gonna cover when one between Kovacic and Rodri goes forward. There's that gap that is left in the middle.
Maybe ask Phil Foden to sit ever so slightly deeper to make sure that there's a pass available for Rodri and Kovacic in that midfield, so that there's no turnover in possession.
That could work as well, because if you're too forward and it forces either of them to also push to the final third, But if you make yourself available in that space, Rodri can just unleash that pass to Foden, like you're saying.
Len, the stats overall slightly favouring Manchester City, besides the stats that count, and that's the goals. Real Madrid taking more shots and having more shots on target. However, possession, passing, pass accuracy, all in favour of Manchester City. Real Madrid allowing City to have the ball slightly deeper in the pitch and more prepared to try and hurt City on the break.
It's almost like they're allowing them to have the ball in their half, play it around, kick it around, pass it around, but not allowing them to have purpose with the ball. That's what Real Madrid are doing. That's what Camavinga is doing, cutting that line of allowing the City players to actually have purpose with the ball, and hence you have not seen many attacks. Hence you seeing them only having tried 4 shots on goal, and outside of the one that became a goal, the free kick, which obviously came as a result of that foul from Tchouameni. Not really anything that City was offering that looked threatening.
A couple threatening moments in the game, but Real Madrid putting their bodies on the line.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, if you
the shots on target, the 5 that Real Madrid had, they were more threatening.
Certainly. I think we remember 2 opportunities for Real Madrid where Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo both weren't able to, once again, wrap their foot around the ball and find the corner of the net, more hitting it straight at the goalkeeper.
In essence, we could have been looking at a 4-1 now, because had Rodrigo actually used the inside of his... it
was open net.
It was open net. And had Vinicius Jr. actually put some power or some effort in that chance that he had just before, I think in the 40th minute or so. You actually even said you were disappointed at Vinny at how he took that shot.
Yeah, it was a poor shot.
Yes. It could have been easily been 4-1. So yes, despite the ball position not being in their favor, despite the passes completed and Real Madrid were the better team in that first half.
I'd argue with that ever so slightly. I think that both sides have performed really well, and as much as you're saying it could be 4-1, it could also just be 1-0 if it weren't for those deflected opportunities, giving Real Madrid
That's some luck as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubting, especially in the first goal, the amount of luck that went into that, and that changed the entire fixture around. Because up until that point, Manchester City were supremely dominant in the fixture.
Yes, but we can't also then discount that. I mean, we talked about this, that in the very first 10 minutes, Man City was dominant, and they kind of also controlled the pace of the game. And you saw that Real Madrid was somehow a bit struggling. but they were able to somehow, and I did mention this while the match was playing, that they were able to eventually get back and control the match, and you saw the pace also kind of change, and we saw Real Madrid that was able to then control the game. But in essence, the officiating to me has been stellar. It's been quite fair.
It's been Ian McLeodish.
It's been okay, you know.
Oh,
and
Ian
more than anything, I think
Super
Real
sub.
Madrid has come out to, they kind of look like a better, slightly better team, especially like I've mentioned, the combination of my young boys, your Rodrigo and your Vinny, you know, that has been lovely to watch. And as much as Bellingham also is not necessarily as prominent, but I mean, the likes of, you know, Haaland, like we've mentioned, is also not as prominent. So I guess, you know, if you are going to know that you are the target, then you just need to make sure that your fellow team members are going to carry that for you. And I don't think that's what's happening
I
with
actually
Man
need to
City.
go for
Thank
my
you,
halftime
darling.
team
I
talk.
agree.
I was going to say before I go for my team talk halftime, I wanted to say to Tepi that the referee was Ian McClown.
Clown, not clown. See what you did there. Oh, by the way, Super Sub, in your defense, we were talking about Erling Haaland and just how well he did last season compared to this season. And as it stands, he scored 18 goals in 24 matches. That was in the 23-24 season, and in the 24-25 season. I'm talking about right now as it stands. He's actually on par.
No, 23-24 is this season.
Oh, 24-25 is, maybe that's why
24-25
my
is
numbers
next
are
year.
wrong. Oh, yes.
23, 24.
Because
We are
2025 is
23.
next year.
Oh,
Ne?
yes, we are 20,
Starting
we
it
are
in
23,
August.
24 now. Oh, shit. Okay. Snap. Sorry, my bad.
25 starts in August.
Tepi's living in the future, guys.
I really am.
She's artificial intelligence.
I am AI.
Lungile Dlomo saying the eye test shows that Madrid is dominating this game. The stats can say all they want.
Of course.
That's like the key.
Yes, they don't show everything. But let's be realistic to
and
say
then
that they have been more dominant.
Knowledge saying that Haaland is costing City. Also, they are not trying to get to the byline and get the ball into the box. And he's accusing Grealish and Silva of making that mistake. I have to agree in a way. But also in saying that, I think Tepi mentioned that Haaland and Jude Bellingham have been quiet in this game. That, I believe, is down to tactics of the other team. They've been made to be kept quiet. I think that Rudiger and Tchouameni have done a terrific job at centre-back, keeping Haaland quiet.
Yeah.
And every time there's a ball in a wide position for Manchester City, there's two players all over Haaland, not allowing him to get a decent jump and header in a goal.
Yeah, but you see the difference between City and Madrid is that as much as they do have your Jude here in their pocket, but you can see that your Camavinga is there also. Rodrigo is there. Vinny is there. So as much as they can pocket, they can't really pocket everyone. You see, if that makes sense.
Super Sub, in your opinion, if you were to replace Haaland, who's been largely ineffective, for me, I wouldn't. I'd keep him there because, like we said earlier on, he just needs the chance to come. He's not a player who impacts the game necessarily in terms of creating, but when something is created, he impacts the game because he's the best man to be there to finish the opportunity. But if you were to replace him now, would it be Kevin De Bruyne and then Phil Foden in a false nine sort of position? Or would you be looking at a Julian Alvarez who can affect the game from centre forward that little bit more?
Yeah, look, both of them would make sense because Julian Alvarez can also, run back as well. I've said this before, you know. He's not a player that is going to wait in the box for that ball to come at him, you know. Also, that gives an opportunity to open up at the back. If you've got Alvarez, if he tracks, let's say for instance, he goes a little bit outside the final third, which means he draws a little bit of the center backs, which can create a space, you know. But I wouldn't touch Haaland in a sense that, Marco, you still have a tactical change of a creative player that you still have up your sleeve that you can go to. So the introduction of Kevin De Bruyne would be in Haaland's favor. Would be in Haaland's favor and can be the reason.
And supply.
They can be it can be the supply and it can be what Manchester City needs to get the goals.
For me, I'm Pep Guardiola. I'd be looking at continuing as we were for the first 10 minutes of the second half. And then if nothing changes, I'd be looking at sacrificing someone like Grealish and bringing on Kevin De Bruyne to try and unlock the potential of Haaland.
No, definitely. That tactical change, it has to happen, because if we look at how City is when we get to the final third, we're sort of like not able to penetrate. We're not being creative enough, and a player like Kevin De Bruyne, that's what he gives you.
Yes, but
I wouldn't be surprised even if in the 50th minute we see Kevin De Bruyne coming in.
Yeah,
As the best goalkeeper the world has never known returns into the studio here, Mr. Len Moleko. Talk to us about that opening goal as a goalkeeper.
Which opening goal? The one that I scored.
Bernardo Silva scored against.
Oh, that was a stunner, because outside of the fault that the keeper made, the distance, the accuracy, because a goalie still had to make a save, and actually the technique of going to the extent of kicking the ball in such a way that it actually lands and skids in the wet grass also makes it difficult for the goalkeeper to actually do what they're supposed to do. So I think, from what you said, Super Sub, that that's something straight out of the training ground.
Yeah.
They have practiced it before. And yeah,
it was meticulous.
I still feel the goalkeeper could have done better, but it was a free kick well taken nonetheless.
Yeah.
So
Look,
some
unfortunately, as a
comments-
goalkeeper, you have to, if there's a free kick and you're a goalkeeper, you have to anticipate all the possible play that can happen.
True.
Will they go for the near post? But in this case, Lunen sort of like anticipated a deep into the far post, and then he sort of like marked that territory.
So I have a couple of not tweets, but comments here on you know what I mean. Lungi Lodlomo saying that because I got tongue tied for a second there. Lungi Lodlomo saying if De Bruyne goes into the midfield, that midfield is going to get overrun because it doesn't have legs. And Aluweni saying that they know the rules and still score first. Funny, no. I wanted to read this one. Haaland is like that kid who needs to be woken up when going to school. He can't wake himself up. So with that, then when a super sub, like you were saying, that maybe a Haaland, the introduction of a De Bruyne, because of how creative it is and how it's going to be able to supply, might be that one thing that wakes him up.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think. Yes, I agree with the comment about the legs, but we can't now treat Kevin De Bruyne like a grandpa.
Yeah, he's not.
You know, so
he's gonna wake up the kid who doesn't want to wake up.
So in a game like this, you give him a solid 30 minutes, it can change the game for you.
Look, I agree with what Tepi's saying. In that the introduction of Kevin De Bruyne, it might come at some level of sacrifice. But then again, what else do you have? Because it's not like Phil Foden is offering much for you in this game.
No, he's not offering much.
Right? Jack Grealish in here and there, but nothing came of it from him. I don't know, is Alvarez on the bench? I actually did not check the City bench.
I'll tell you now.
Because is he not
He is on the bench.
Is he not an option there?
He is on the bench, yeah.
We spoke about Alvarez. If you were here, you would have heard that Alvarez is that player that I feel if he comes on for Haaland, which is a possibility, right? He sort of like run a lot, even outside the box to try and make space to get the ball. So when a player does that, he's gonna definitely throw defenders.
What about Nunes?
I'm not convinced. Not for this game,
Not
honestly.
now?
No, I don't think Nunes is a guy that can. I don't think he can be an impact player for a game of this magnitude.
You need BMT players.
You need BMT players.
There's a level of determination. See, this is my obsession is coming back again.
There we
Looking
go.
at the players, getting out the
tunnel.
thingy, and there's the person that we be speaking about, Kevin De Bruyne. Will he even play? I saw one comment from it's Perseverance Chego saying, will he even play today?
Yeah, he's most likely gonna play. I think that's one tactical change that Pep still have up his sleeve that he can introduce.
You give him how many minutes?
I said like 30, 25. I don't think Pep will wanna go away from Bernabeu without giving Kevin De Bruyne a go.
And then the other thing as well, Super Sub, as we look at how things are going now, second half, you are City. Do you start the second half like you did the first, or do you start it with a level of caution, having seen what Real Madrid was able to do for the bulk of the first half to you?
Look, I'll be more cautious, and also I just feel like you as City, the wingers also have to sort of like keep the line. I think a lot of time, the ball is moving so fast that it's leaving them behind, and if they can keep their line and sort of have what you call one of the defenders between Akanji, not Akanji, Stones and Akanji cover up for Rodri and Kovacic, should they go to the left or to the right to try and cover the spaces.
Can we not argue that maybe then Kovacic and Rodri are not cleaning up enough in order to not allow things to get complicated for...
I just think, and honestly, in my opinion, I feel like in this game, the difference between this game is how Valverde is playing and how Camavinga is playing. Camavinga and Valverde have managed to clean up in that midfield, and then because also they've got they've got what's his name, Tony.
Yes.
Also there, so they've got that extra percent defensively, which makes it a little bit difficult for Manchester City to play within the midfield.
So effectively,
because nothing is coming out of our midfield, if you can look at it.
So effectively, this game is going to be straight won up by whoever is dominating the midfield.
It looks like it, because if you look at how Valverde played in the first half, you can tell that they are really, really serious.
Okay, a scuffle there. Not necessary. That was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what Phil Foden did.
Let's look. He pushed Mendy to get off where he needs to play the ball so that he can play it quick, and then Mendy retaliated.
Yeah, footballers and play acting.
Yeah.
But it's if I was City, I would not start the second half with a cautious approach. I would actually want to rattle the cage, Real Madrid's cage, the same way that they started the first half. Because by doing that, then it's like, okay, cool. Do we continue playing the same way that we were playing, or do we become more cautious in our approach and try to protect this 2-1 lead that we have?
For me, Len, the battle is in the midfield. You see, you've got Valverde and Camavinga.
Yes.
And they've got the cushion of Toni Kroos cleaning up behind them. And when the ball is playing on the right, Valverde can shift on the right to cover the space. When the ball is played on the left, Camavinga can shift on the left and not worry about leaving the gap in the middle. So that is the biggest problem.
So for City, would City be able to do that though, in essence of how can I put it, inverting John Stones to come and help with the cleanups in the middle?
The danger with that is you opening a gap in the middle, in the center, it's a center back.
Yes.
That is the danger with that.
So are you saying that in essence, are you telling me
be moving slightly back?
You can do that.
Yeah, because I feel like that makes more sense.
I was going to say, essentially then what you're saying is, on the balance of play and on the personnel chosen for this game, can we then say that Carlo Ancelotti chose better personnel than Pep Guardiola did?
No, not necessarily. It's just a matter of how do you align your play right now. No, you see, so if you get a player like Kevin De Bruyne, or if Foden can track back,
that's what I'm saying.
Or you can shift Foden to the right, and sort of have Bernardo coming into number 10, because he can also play number 6. So which means one of between Kovacic and Rodri will have to go sit deep and be the cover up.
Interestingly enough, I saw the warm-ups. I did not see Kevin De Bruyne warming up. I stand to be corrected. There were City players who were warming up. The picture was there just now. But I did not see Kevin De Bruyne warming up.
Well, maybe it's not going to be there. Usually when...
or is he warm already?
Well, it's forever warm.
Cheers.
Wow, what?
Jeez.
So usually, I mean, first change, it's usually players that
What's up when Tabang starts saying,
Nah,
whoa,
he does that on purpose. He's
he's
trying
throwing us off.
He's trying to rattle us.
maybe he's watching the Arsenal game.
Ballers
I doubt
and team, thank you so much for holding it down as I left for my little halftime break. Referee giving a free kick against Jack Grealish. Of course, this is Onside ZA, a watch along between Real Madrid and Manchester City. Brought to you by Betway. Get way more. If you do join the Betway app as a new user, remember to use our affiliate code Onside ZA. It helps us out a lot.
But why?
Len Moleko, Jack Grealish getting a lipful from Vinicius Jr., claiming that he dived.
Distance. Do you go with Bernardo or do you go with Foden? Remember what Foden did against Villa?
But Bernardo have already scored.
And Bernardo's already done it now. So hence I'm asking you that all-important question.
Well, it's about the play. You know, with things like this, there's players that are already assigned. If it's outside the box,
I'd like to mention two things here. This free kick from further out, and there's a three-man wall this time, and look how effective that is.
That's
So-
a foul.
no,
So-
not with this ref.
Real Madrid learning their lesson from the first set piece that they conceded, a three-man wall, making it much harder for Bernardo Silva to have the shot straight on goal. And as you can see, there's Mendy fouled on the counter-attack by Phil Foden. And Jude Bellingham winning back position in midfield.
I think
Giving it away
he
immediately.
overdid it there. He overdid it.
He's playing for camera. That's his problem. He just needs to stick to football.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just handsome. Though.
Bernardo
Can't
Silva
help it.
once again drifting
That
all
is
the
an
way
unfair
through.
statement.
I believe it's Antonio Rudiger who brings in the challenge there at the end. Jude Bellingham with a long stride reminds me a little bit of a prime Paul Pogba, but better.
Would this be Jude Bellingham?
Yes. I think that Jude Bellingham reminds me, just because of the physicality of him, the long stride, the pace, the skill, the way he's able to dominate a midfield.
The Juve Pogba or the Man United Pogba?
I said prime Paul Pogba.
Okay, cool.
So
You
the
decide
France
where he
Paul
was
Pogba.
prime.
Decide, exactly.
The France Paul Pogba. Because Paul Pogba was terrific in that France World Cup winning squad.
And for Juventus as well.
Tito saying we're avoiding Arsenal talk tonight. Ne? They really need Jesus.
And somebody said they need,
He was just woken up last week, so he must help them.
No, and then he went again. But anyway, we're not there.
Good boy
Blasphemous.
saying that Man City are playing with the wrong team. Real Madrid have a lot of quality. I wouldn't say they're playing. They're
Maybe
playing
wrong
good
team.
football. They've got the tactics aren't incorrect in any way. And you must remember that in the next 8 minutes, we're going to expect to see some changes. And there's some real quality on that Manchester City bench. And don't be surprised to see Kevin De Bruyne replacing Jack Grealish in the next 10 minutes.
Or I would say Phil Foden being replaced by Kevin De Bruyne. But then, as well as I mentioned earlier on, that was good from the ref. He was not warming up when there was a contingent of City players who were warming up a few minutes ago.
Yeah, Robin Diaz there just getting the team under pressure. You know, losing position of the ball.
And again.
Give the chance.
Jude Bellingham with the skill opens up the shot for himself, and
Playing for the camera, you say, huh?
it's a lot of quality in Jude
Oh,
Bellingham there, and he's on
honey.
his
Sorry.
weaker
What is
left
this,
foot.
honey?
Supers are playing for the cameras, huh?
Yeah, no, he usually plays for the camera.
Please, let's look at this again.
Rare
It's for the
for-
cameras, right?
That's very effective. Leaves
I
one
don't
on
think
the
you
floor.
understand what I'm saying. What I mean by he's playing for camera.
Okay.
I don't think you understand.
Look,
Okay, please explain.
Jude
Nah, I'm
Bellingham
not
has
gonna
been
explain.
extremely effective in all his time in a Real Madrid shirt, and this is the first time we're really seeing him come into the game a little bit. He's been well dealt with, and as Rudiger continues to deal with Haaland here,
And wins a free kick.
it's a surprise free kick given by the referee for me. I'd like to see a replay of that.
Look, I think
It
it's
looked
something
like
that
just
he's
a
been doing
physical
it
marking.
consistently.
So, do you think that's something you should be punished for? Good quality defending.
Look, you can't have both hands covering
Okay.
it. Look at that.
I do agree now.
Yeah,
I do
no.
agree now. He is
No.
wrestled
Yeah,
to the
he
ground.
tossed him to the
he-
floor.
He
yeah.
he's
He
been
alluded.
doing it, And he's been doing it, and I think right now he has just crossed that line where he made it difficult for the referee to let it
He
go.
is quite aggressive, isn't
He came into this match with an intention to rattle
Rattle.
Haaland and do exactly what he's doing now.
Naya
Look,
Isaac
any
saying,
defender will do that because if Haaland doesn't score, you get the shine as a defender.
Jack Grealish with a good delivery, and Rodrigo, who's just been criticized in the comments by Naya Isaacs, saying he's fast asleep tonight. This is a good opportunity from Man City. Good delivery by Jack Grealish. Rodrigo just unable to get his head over the ball under pressure from Toni Kroos. And it's a good opportunity for Manchester City. Rodri, one of the most consistent players in world football, I think. And he hasn't been at his best tonight. But once again, I think
Kanji needs to be very careful.
Which is what I was saying earlier on in that
that could be a yellow card. That
And
one.
does he not have a yellow card already?
Yes,
He
I
does.
think
So
that's
yeah.
why he's managed to escape the yellow card
Yeah.
there. But he is treading on thin ice.
Very, very thin, yeah.
and Rodrigo, what's his name?
Who I can't.
Too
No. Akanji.
Yeah.
The attackers at Real Madrid are aware that he's on a yellow. They also gonna bait him
Of course.
for those challenges to try get him red carded.
The baking chef saying that Haaland needs Kevin to score. I think that's a combination we've seen enough in Haaland's time at Manchester City to know that to get the
Vinny.
most. And Vinny Jr. with another
I think
opportunity.
There's a level of selfishness. I think there's a
Wasted.
pass that was there, that was available.
I think
Remember,
as
he
a-
hasn't scored.
I
It's
think
also that.
Granted.
as an
but
attacker, when you've got an
Gav,
opportunity
Gav.
like that, you just have to hit the target.
But which pass, Len?
There was no pass
There
there.
was nothing.
Maybe with Mendy coming in, I see what Len's talking about.
a
But
cross back pass to go. There was a
Nah,
pass.
with the
you must
momentum.
remember that Vinny Jr. is
No.
not watching the game from the stands.
Yeah.
So if he's not got a
Neither
call
am
there,
I.
yeah. You know, it's not FIFA. You
Even
can't
he's
see the boss.
apologizing. I think there was a pass. Somebody was expecting a
Okay,
pass.
babe.
Okay,
Don't be hard on my
I'll
man.
argue with you
Yo.
on that one. I think he's apologizing because he knows he should have done better with the finish.
Well, that
Not
too.
to pass, but to finish better.
Lungile Dlomo saying Vinny is world class. He certainly
course.
is.
No,
I think,
definitely you can't caution that.
I think if we look at this pitch and we see 22 players scanned across it, every single player on that pitch is world class.
Top three
definitely.
out of the 22 that are on the pitch right now.
For me, this season, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, and Vinny Jr. Those
share
would
the
be
same
my
sentiments.
my three top players on the pitch now this season.
So you'd pick Phil Foden over Vinny Jr. Just a question.
They play in different positions.
No. I'm not positioning it. Just
in terms of world class,
world class. The
this season, yes, Phil Foden's been phenomenal. I think this has been Foden's best season in a Manchester City shirt. He's shown a lot of quality. But in the same breath, I wouldn't say that Jude Bellingham's better than any of the players that I've mentioned, but this season he certainly is.
Okay. Well, there's a reason why he's at Madrid.
Yeah.
They saw him doing the things he was doing at
Absolutely.
Borussia Dortmund.
No, I agree. I think he's a world class player. Absolutely. But it's hard to pick one from the other in this game because these are two really world class sides. And Bernardo Silva on his days, absolutely phenomenal.
Do you
as well.
understand the pass accuracy and why the pass stats for City would be generally higher?
Yes,
than-
they tend to pick safer passes. Real Madrid are playing a different strategy where they're going to try and unlock with every pass. I saw a quote earlier this week, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but I believe it was Jose Mourinho who said that Toni Kroos needs one pass to unlock the game in the same way that Barcelona needs 40. So Toni Kroos does in one pass what Barcelona does in 40. And that seems to be the strategy from Real Madrid.
That is not a
Camavinga
nice
late in
challenge.
the challenge and then Rodri just pushing him off the ball and Real Madrid getting the advantage in that.
But he can almost be like the cleaner because he's chilled
Eish,
playing for the camera.
that's how.
That's
you lose
Vinny
possession.
Jr. looking to play in Jude Bellingham. But that slick, quick passing and risky passing is why the pass accuracy is higher for Man City. However, that risky final ball is what gets you in. And there's a shot on target from Phil Foden.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get into those spaces and try and unleash from the box, because getting into the final third, it seems difficult right now for Manchester City.
Because Rudiger's got the key. Super sub, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Just
see.
checking.
Let's see the other team.
Teppy.
No, the score is still 2-1.
Uh,
I'm monitoring. Don't worry. And I'm not.
is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm not worried. The thing is, it's only the first leg. It's 2-1, and away goals don't count anymore. So it's anyone's game come the second leg. So even with this game as well,
A
City.
very bad Manchester United side made Bayern Munich sweat in the group stages of this competition. Arsenal can really overcome Bayern Munich at any point.
Yeah, it's just that's what I'm saying. It's just the first leg, number one, number two. Once you get a taste of this position, because it's very close to
You know what I like about you, Lynn?
what?
I love how nonchalant you act sometimes.
But
You
I
act like it's a
Kifril G loves that as well, saying Glenn is trolling as
Is
if
it?
Arsenal
Let
is
me
not
see.
losing.
No, but like
Like he really does act as if it's like
it's
whatever,
just
you
the
know?
first leg.
There we
Like,
go.
Genuinely,
But the difference is that Arsenal are playing at home right now, and this is where they need to be maximizing.
yeah.
I would like to believe.
They
Either way, I don't think either of them are going to win this tournament, because it's one of the whoever goes through in this game, I believe, is my favorite to go on and win this tournament in its entirety.
What if PSG or Atletico Madrid win the tournament? Ooh,
I
My
mean,
boy, breathe. Come on.
crazier things have happened in football, Len Moleko, but I think these are your two favorites, and that's why I've called this the game of the season so far.
And this is what I like to see, and what I was talking about, like all the forwards coming back to
Literally.
keep the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that tactically Manchester City are really switched on the second half. They've created more chances than Real Madrid so far in the
True.
second
Foden
half.
has been standing out.
And Vinny Jr. looks to play in Valverde, who'll take the shots well
come
off
on.
target. But the right decision there, as too many passes.
interesting approach from City. The way they actually looked like they shut shop. Made Real Madrid maybe make it one or two more passes than they were supposed to, and as a result, forcing them to shoot from outside. And yeah,
Difficult. They've closed them down and they're putting bodies on the line, making it hard for Real Madrid. As we go into the 62nd minute of the game,
still no subs.
super sub. This is now the opportunity to bring someone on from the bench to change the game around.
Yeah, definitely. But we know how stubborn Pep can be, especially in a game where he's controlling the position, and it's just a matter of unlocking the defense. He usually takes time to make those subs, and this is what frustrates me a lot with Pep many times, But I'm hoping that he does not take long with that sub, because I feel like this game needs fresh legs and more of a creative legs.
Yeah, it's not like it's not working for Manchester City. Yes, the scoreline's not necessarily absolutely in their favor, but the game is not like running away from Manchester
It's
City at
balanced,
this
yeah.
moment.
But again, it looks like it's you see, again, Real Madrid doing those. Oh, I see
You see?
the camera thing.
Yeah. I was waiting for
Legendary
the
me.
moment where you get it.
Legendary me saying that Valverde shots worth 2 points in rugby.
Was that necessary?
No, because you need to be very accurate, especially in that part of the field.
Yeah.
More so if you know there is an opponent between where the pass is supposed to go and where it's coming from.
That's playing to camera. It's unnecessary.
I think that Real Madrid's senior players, they're just shown in the replays to be making the critical challenges in Dani Carvajal and Toni Kroos. Their experience has been absolutely critical in this game so far. And he has an opportunity for Manchester City on the edge of the box. He dilly-dallies on the ball, loses possession
and that's the
to Vinny
problem with
Jr.
Foden.
And it's a throw-in further up the pitch as Real Madrid look to...
Interesting. That was the first bit of interesting. Look how far back Haaland had to go, and he was defending.
Yeah.
And because of his speed,
the turnaround-
that he actually, sorry, Marco, because of his speed, he actually neutralized that attack that was almost about to emanate from there.
Well, I mean, when there's a turnaround in possession, any player gets back that needs to get back. I think that tactically, nothing will change.
I think from a speed perspective, that's what I'm referring to, because in terms of how fast this player Haaland is when he runs, he was actually able to neutralize that attack.
As we see Real Madrid looking to more and more sink deeper and deeper into the pitch, allow City to have the ball and then try and hit on the counter-attack. However, there's some frustration in that midfield when they do lose position. Here's an opportunity for Phil Foden.
Oh.
And once again, bodies on the line for Real Madrid, reminding me of a Juventus side of old.
What a pass.
Clean.
They should have come this side. Yeah.
Jude Bellingham with trying to make
What
the
do you think-
showstopper pass there. Not accurate enough for Valverde to run onto.
I was going to ask Len, what do you think of Ortega since he came on for Edison?
He's done well. It's almost as if you don't necessarily miss Edison. Obviously, Edison is world class, especially playing from the back, using him. Some of the saves that he makes, but Ortega is not. He's not a bad replacement. There's a lot of teams. I think in the Premier League, Ortega is likely to make the starting 11 of at least 17 out of the 20 teams.
Yeah, no.
Are you saying he just doesn't make it at Liverpool and Arsenal?
Yes.
I don't know if I'd have as much confidence in Arsenal goalkeepers as you do, but...
No,
on
David
win rate.
he's actually got more clean sheets this year.
And that's a terrific goal from Phil Foden. Unbelievable
but we saw that
strike.
coming.
And we did say that
We saw that
Manchester
coming.
City would have another opportunity.
Yep.
And that is an outstanding goal from
No,
Phil
he came in the
Foden.
second half and he came into.
Yeah,
to
he's
cause some
been
trouble. We
raising
saw
his
that.
hand in the
Yeah.
second half.
Easy.
And Manchester City level up this fixture after Real Madrid have been defending well and limiting the chances, but a little bit of space for Phil Foden. Gets the ball out of his feet extremely quickly and whips that one into the top corner. Absolutely terrific strike from Phil Foden.
And it's what I was talking about earlier, that because they're not getting into the final third, a
gonna
player
have
like
to shoot
Phil
from
Foden
outside.
will
Further.
always try to shoot from outside.
Yeah.
Madrid are almost also, do I want to say, not stagnant, man. There's a word I'm looking for. They almost,
Complacent, Len.
they are complacent.
Complacent.
There we go. I mean, there's moments whereby they could have done a lot with the chances that they had. There's a lackadaisy approach about them, and that has the potential of undoing them in this match, because now where things are, is it a case of, do we play for a draw, go to the second leg, or do we try take the game by the scruff of the neck kind of vibes?
I don't think that this fixture would be one that Real Madrid would be wise to try and impose themselves on too much. I think they need to continue that strategy of looking to hit Manchester City on the break, allow them to have possession. Because if you try to impose yourself too much on this fixture,
They will have to.
you're going to
like Man
open
City.
yourself up
Yep.
a little bit too much. And Manchester City now will be in the ascendancy after getting the confidence boost of the equalizer. The game is certainly not as slick as it has been in moments. And there we go. We see Valverde picking up possession with a great tackle on Gvardiol. And Toni Kroos now with a scuffed shot that dribbles and drabbles on to Ortega.
If anything, by the looks of things, it looks like Madrid are probably going to be the first ones to make a sub. I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, because it looks like they're
They're pressured now a bit.
pressured, and the midfielders start to get open up, you know. And City are winning the duels all the time, so they might be forced to make some changes.
When you don't have possession of the ball quite as much, it tends to make your legs slightly tireder.
Yeah.
Because you're always chasing after the ball.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when you've got the ball,
And you have to shift around the pitch a lot
A
more.
lot. Yeah.
yeah, because when you have the ball, as City does, it's almost like you're not supposed to make more than 2 touches before you release the ball, type of vibes.
Absolutely. And as we see Danny Carvajal on the break, Gvardiol doing well. And once again, these sort of ebbs and flows of the game where each side gets the ascendancy for a certain number of minutes.
Then it dwindles.
Yeah, and
the
then
other guy
it
takes
will
over.
shift over
Yes,
onto
of
the thing,
course.
the seesaw effect that we see in football. And of course, now after the goal, Manchester City, everything they touch is gold at the moment. And Real Madrid unable to get anything going. In saying that, Pep Guardiola has clearly instructed his players to stay calm and not try and overdo things, because now they're just controlling possession.
And also, Alan, I was talking about trying to overload the midfield, and it does look like Stones is inverting now.
Yes. Which is where they were losing a lot of the position.
in
And
the
now
first half.
things look like they've turned around, and it's almost to the point that, okay, now City are finding their rhythm. They've got more of the ball.
Yeah, and then you can see Rodri is sitting back. So, Marco, when you were away on your little break, we were talking about how Madrid midfield is sort of like dominating City in the first half, with Valverde and Camavinga sort of stretching on wide, and then allowing with Toni Kroos to clean up and covering the space in the middle.
Certainly, Kroos and Camavinga, the deepest lying of the Real Madrid midfielders, allowing Valverde and Jude to maybe step up ever so slightly more. Although now currently looking at the pitch, it looks like a flat 3 in midfield with Jude Bellingham ahead.
Because if you look at it now, it's Man City are trying to open up Real Madrid. Rodrigo hasn't had the ball in a while. Jude Bellingham, I think the last touch that he...
Another terrific goal.
That's a
Josko
terrific goal.
Vardiol with a
He
strike
doesn't
from
score
outside the
He
box.
doesn't score many.
And he doesn't score many.
And that is a left back scoring with his right foot. Josko Vardiol with the goal for Manchester City as they now lead Real Madrid by 3-2, turning the tie around completely. And heads hanging low for Real Madrid at the moment. A team that feeds off of confidence a lot more than Manchester City. They just sort of kept their heads down and carried on doing the work that they were doing, Super Sub. And now they've
Definitely.
reaped the benefits.
No, definitely. And the more you have the ball, and we were talking about it. The more you have the ball, the more they had the ball, the more Real Madrid players are running around and losing shape and position. And City are just finding those gaps, and then they just slotted it.
The funny thing about this strike is it's a poor touch from Vardiol to set himself up. Then he has to run onto the ball, and it just sits up perfectly for him. So
And
a
the
poor
ball-
first touch.
It almost looked like it was going to run away from him.
It did run away from him a little bit, and it actually forced him to just run onto it and have the strike. And it's worked in his favor.
Now frustration is going to creep in. As you can see, the facial expression
Already towards there with the two all.
with the second goal.
Absolutely. And on comes Luka Modric for Real Madrid.
Len did say, and also
there's
it's the
a man
midfield problem.
with terrific quality and experience. He replaces Toni Kroos, who has looked to be tiring as the game's gone on. And the Croatian magician, Luka Modric, is exactly the man that you'd expect to help Real Madrid out of this little bit of mess that they're in.
But it's a mess they're in. As he gets into the action, that was him who actually tried to open up things there.
Benny Jr. now on the ball.
Again,
Shifts
one
in
too many
and a corner
touches.
kick for
Come
Real
down.
Madrid.
Look
They've
for
had
options.
so many corners, actually.
Actually, this
the
I think
first
this
one.
There's
match,
been very few corners in this fixture in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only been one corner that was for Man City.
So this is the second corner
Should be.
for
Yeah, only one corner since.
yes.
Yeah, just goes to show you how this game is. Like, it's teams that are trying to cancel each other.
Luka Modric with the corner, and Ortega does well to just push the ball away.
Forget
Another
another corner.
Another
corner.
Yeah, I think now it should be a case. Luka should come in and tell Jude like less. We're not playing five-a-side here.
It's harder.
I think the crowd seems, just on the looks of things, obviously we're not listening to the fixture, seems to have been quietened by that goal, a little bit stunned themselves. But Real Madrid really need the crowd to get behind them. I mean, that roof was closed for atmosphere purposes. It's now their chance to get behind their team.
It's like doing all sorts of things to try and intimidate your opponents, only for it to blow back in your face. Shame. That would be a
Look,
real
it's
tragedy.
been a game of terrific quality. I think both sides are really great football teams.
The other team has equalized.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking to you. Yo.
Sundowns.
Hey.
I was gonna ask.
No, friend. we're not
Oh,
talking to
Nigeria.
you. I'm giving the ballers.
Oh, okay. They probably know as well.
Aibo.
They've just said it. Legendary Me is on the case.
See,
Real
I'm not
Gift
even
G
looking at
is on the
that.
case. D Dope is on the case. So, like I said, I'm gonna watch this game when I get home
But my
and watch
friend-
it from start. Let's concentrate on the
Okay,
game that
another
matters. And again, it's only the first leg.
Yeah, but it's good if the other team has equalized. If you're playing at home, you want to maximize and have less
it.
pressure when you go away.
No, true. And I think that's why City was able to. Well, they're playing away, but now they're gonna make it even more easier for them when they go
themselves.
back to the Etihad.
The thing is, talking about atmospheres in a stadium, Manchester City is notorious for having one of the poorer atmospheres in a football stadium in terms of a top level side. Do you think they're going to really need the crowd to get behind them in the return fixture, Super Sub?
I need to go there to Manchester City so that I can have a definitive answer for you because you've been saying this a lot, eh?
This isn't from my own experience. This is me reporting back on what is said largely about the side.
I'm gonna go to Manchester.
Look,
And I'm gonna record for you guys.
look. Now all I'm gonna say is
Yo.
the people that fill up that stadium are probably still new to the environment. They're not sure what's going on, so they're still trying to,
They've had enough years of success.
They're more concentrated on the success than they are
Man
on
City's midfield is actually
on,
doing
sing-
great
on
things
singing
right
the
now.
club songs.
Some journalists accuse them of being spoiled with success, and that's why they're not as loud and they don't get behind their team as much. They just sort of go there and say, "Well, go ahead, entertain us."
I've heard them. I've heard them numerous times saying, "Go City, go City." You've heard that,
No,
but
those are-
doesn't count.
no. That's a recorded song. It plays in the speakers inside the stadium.
It doesn't even play in the speakers, just on the broadcast.
Wow, Marco.
No, I'm not really saying that it's a joke,
So
but
the
No,
PS5
some
game-
journalists said that.
it's widely spoken about.
But yeah,
And I
anyway.
believe the song you're talking about is "Come On City."
So yeah, I think City will take this result. It should be good for them.
Then it's not over, eh?
No, I know it's not over. But on the application of Real Madrid in this game in its entirety, yes, the first half, the better part of the first half, they played well, but they became. I think there's a level of arrogance that they had, going back to people playing for the camera, Bovini not picking up the right passes,
Yeah.
and almost as if like they did not have a plan B when the Stones. I mean, we said it before the game started. Surely Carlo would have known that at some point Stones is likely to invert. When that happens, what is my plan B?
Well, I think you certainly cannot criticize anyone from a tactical standpoint because Real Madrid have had the opportunities to close this game off late in the first half. Especially, they had enough opportunities to really kill this game off, and they weren't clinical enough.
Clinical and also some decision making for me was not in order.
I think Vinny should have taken advantage of the chances that he got in the first half. He should have been more clinical.
And
The
also,
score would
Len,
have been
if
much different to what it is now.
yes, Tippy, I agree with you. They missed the chances.
Yeah,
That's not a penalty.
because they were on
Jude
fire.
Bellingham
you know?
diving.
Oh, baby.
So
he's starting to frustrate me now.
But you were
mentioned
frustrated.
something.
You
You
were
planted a
frustrated
seed.
with what I was saying.
No,
that's why.
no. He didn't plant a seed. Here's the thing. Did he have silky smooth, shiny passes? Yes, he did.
His
But-
skin is also silky smooth.
But there are certain incidents whereby I can't roll a ball to Marco with this laptop in front of me. Seeing this laptop is in front of me. I need to throw it over so that he catches it, right?
I hear
you
you,
get what I
friend.
mean?
I hear you, friend.
Well, I get what Gift Real G means here. He says, are these songs sung at the empty head?
Gift, you're not a G anymore.
A chance.
And there's 3-3. Terrific strike on the volley from Fede Valverde. And that is what happens when Real Madrid
Play
gets...
Manchester City.
This is a fantastic football match. We're being really... Away from the tactical discussion, away from the discussion of which team's better, what to do, who to sub, we have been in
have
for
been
a
fed.
feast of football today.
Yeah, we
That
are
A
being
terrific
fed.
ball from Vinny
That
Jr.
volley.
And
Do you
it's
understand how
struck
difficult it is to
perfectly.
volley a ball like that?
And as much as there was criticism for the goalkeeper in the opening goal, there were 2 deflected goals for Real Madrid in terms of getting into the lead. what we've been treated to in the last 3 goals
Is
in
a
this fixture
festival.
is a
Yes.
festival.
Yeah,
Fantastic goal from Valverde.
This is a
fantastic
final
goal
before
from
the
Foden.
final.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yo.
this game has lived up to the expectation. I'll say
No
that loud
doubt.
and proud.
You know
Not
what,
that.
Net? I would much rather watch this game than watch the clips that happened in the USA yesterday.
Gift Real
For
G, I
sure.
want to ask you, you've said here, can we focus all the cameras on Tepi for like 10 minutes? She's the 8th wonder of the world with hearts faces. It's really sweet.
Stop.
But do you-
I'm not feeling gift today.
Do you still want to see Tepi? Are you not watching this game? Because that is special. No, fantastic goal from Fede Valverde, and the game is returned to 3-3. And now we expect Real Madrid to be in the ascendancy. I was just about to say, as we were building up to this third goal for Real Madrid, super sub, is that Pep was in a advantageous position, like a real luxurious position in terms of what to do tactically. And Jude Bellingham with terrific control, nearly in for another opportunity.
That first touch was
and now a corner
clean,
kick.
eh?
Unreal first touch to control the ball with the head. And is it Luka Modric who finds him from there? Fantastic.
It's almost like he
delivery.
bent his head so that he could put the power of the ball. See, in pockets where he does, not pockets, in this game at least, in pockets where he does something good, we will give compliments.
Yeah, as we
No,
should.
he's got unbelievable quality, Jude
No,
Bellingham,
he's
and that
talented.
is
You can't.
unreal. And here's Luka Modric with the corner kick. It is swung in,
Just a bit wide.
just a little bit long,
yeah, too long.
and it is recycled. And now an opportunity for Manchester
Start to
City on the
counter.
break as
On the
Jack
counter,
Grealish
on the
gets
counter.
his legs ahead of him.
Okay.
They're too heavy.
The ref did not see it.
The
Let's move.
referee's playing advantage.
Yeah,
you guys
no.
still have possession of the ball.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish still
Let's
on the
move.
run, and that will be a foul and a free kick and potentially a yellow card. And you do see the yellow
it for,
card,
Luka?
but it
Who's it
it seems to be for Danny Carvajal. But it's
For dissent.
but it's dissent. I agree. It won't be for the foul. So
But he's been fired up though. Ever since actually the second half. Oh no, when City scored the equalizer, he's been very fired up.
Gift Real G saying you can give us 115 reasons why Tepi is better than the
Okay,
game.
you need to
Gift,
stop.
slow
You need to
down there,
stop
my man.
now. Okay.
And then Royce saying that let Gift cook, my man. We let Gift cook every week here on the
All
podcast.
the time.
Yeah, but today is cooking.
Gift, I'm with you. You're still a real
Jolo.
G to me, not super
I
sub.
love Mohodu.
Arnata, what's it? It's not Monday.
Yeah,
Give must relax. It's not Monday.
Gift loves Mondays.
because of Mohodu Monday.
Wow.
But yeah, the other thing with the foul, where it ended, it almost as well gave Real Madrid some chance to
Realign.
realign, yeah, and get the numbers back behind the ball and just kill that momentum that City had with that
I see what you mean.
counter attack foul.
Well done to Camavinga. I think he and Tchouameni have
I'm starting to see a
shown
lot
some
of
serious
intensity now.
quality in this game. And these are young players we need to remember, Camavinga and Tchouameni. And Real Madrid have an absolutely ridiculous future ahead of them, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they
they do.
definitely do.
Definitely.
I mean, with the likes of Endrick coming in, the likes of Kylian Mbappe coming in, Jude Bellingham's a young player, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo.
Saka. Yes, you're talking about young players, aren't you?
No, I'm talking about Real Madrid's young
Oh,
players.
sorry.
Real Madrid, Saka.
I don't think he makes the squad, to be honest.
You'd be surprised.
I'm a big fan
Check
of
out one
Saka. I
player
think
now in
he's
this
a
team and
terrific.
put on Saka. Who?
Rodrigo.
No, that's a risk that
He-
I'm not willing to take.
He's the most vulnerable to that change, I'd agree, because Vinny Jr. is not going anywhere. But Kylian Mbappe is going to be in this side next season, and then there's really no space for Saka.
Nah.
All in good time.
Okay.
I agree with Marco.
But like, it's okay. Anyway, there's something I wanted to mention with regards to Luka Modric. Do you think the shift in power or the shift in focus, the shift in tactically per se was down to there was less being offered by Toni Kroos, and
Yeah.
once Luka Modric came
We saw a
on,
change.
there was
Going forward,
yes,
I think that Luka Modric does offer that ever so slightly more than Toni Kroos going forward. However, I think it was just fresh legs. You know, we see Brahim Diaz also on the pitch now, and that seems to have energized Real Madrid. And
That
I think Manchester City should have been looking at their bench ever so slightly earlier to freshen up. However, once again,
They still
this
haven't, if I'm not
fixture's not,
mistaken, right?
over. The tie is not over.
Yeah, it's only the first leg.
And I think that it's now time for Kevin De Bruyne to come on and allow Haaland to make more of an impact in this game. To be honest, I think it's just important. If you're going to keep Haaland on the pitch, it's very important to bring Kevin De Bruyne
Because
on.
Haaland is still non-existent, eh?
So if I was either one of the coaches, what I would do is, if I'm Carlo Ancelotti, Militao, the last 5 minutes, just to get his legs back. If I'm Pep Guardiola,
For the sake of the second leg, right?
yes, for the sake of the second leg, because obviously there's a league game coming this week, and in fact La Liga is returning this weekend because it was on Copa del Rey break.
So the first goal was given as a
Own goal. It was deflected.
Seeing as we bring up Copa del Rey, big congratulations to Ander Herrera for winning that one with his side.
Athletic Club.
I'm sure there's a lot of Man United fans in the comments here, and Man United fans are big fans of Ander Herrera. I think he's like a cult hero.
40 years since the last time they won the
either
a trophy or the Copa del Rey.
the Copa del Rey.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yes, I was talking to the changes for City. I agree with Marco with
Ooh. Yes.
the time that remains.
Look at that, Marco.
His hands are all over him.
And the
he
trip on
stays on his feet.
But I think he was willing to rather take a yellow card.
So there's Vinny
Vin is
Jr.
not
is
happy to be
replaced
subbed.
as Joselu, who's a player who scored a lot of late goals for Real Madrid in La Liga this season.
Okay.
And Carlo Ancelotti might be hoping that Joselu is able to do the same for them tonight, because Real Madrid would love to go to Manchester with a lead. Phil Foden looks seriously uncomfortable, as it seems like he'll be replaced by Julian Alvarez. Tonight doesn't seem like Kevin De Bruyne is going to be making an appearance tonight.
Yeah, because I didn't see
He
him
did
warm
say he
up.
was not warming up.
With the players earlier on, I didn't see him warm up.
Yeah, I think Len was right earlier.
So maybe carrying a knock, something that we don't know about Kevin
Yeah,
De
something
Bruyne.
that we don't know.
Did he come out with? He was proper substituted for Phil Foden in the game against Crystal Palace on Saturday. He did not come out limping unless if it was an injury sustained in training.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Maybe, at this stage of the season, there's no way of knowing who could be carrying a knock. It's
What's
very
coming up
common.
this weekend?
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
let's go to your Premier League fixtures now. Thank you for asking, Super Sub. Your fixtures in the Premier League this weekend, a big one, Newcastle hosting Tottenham Hotspur in that
lunchtime.
early lunchtime Saturday kickoff as Phil
Tottenham
Foden is
to win.
replaced. Spurs to win at Newcastle.
Yep.
I'd say a draw.
It
tough
could be a
game.
draw, yeah.
Brentford hosting Sheffield United in the most meaningless game of the weekend. Brentford should win that one, although
Yeah.
Sheffield United have been picking up draws.
Yeah, but I
I wouldn't be shocked to see a 2-2 in this one.
I think it will be a hive of entertainment for Brentford.
Can you see what
bees are buzzing.
Alvarez
See what he did
brings?
He brings a lot of energy to the
Yeah.
side, that's for sure. And he's closing down
There you go.
the sluggish Real Madrid defenders. Joselu caught in possession by Akanji as he steps up the pitch. Looks wide.
Was there no one else as opposed to Hasulu to replace Vinny?
Like I said, Joselu's been scoring a lot of goals
Ooh,
for
that
Real
1-2 was
Madrid
Is it because of his
in La
experience?
Liga. Well, I think it's his ability to get amongst the goals late on in the fixture. Joselu's a quality player.
Just out of, I digress. Did you see there was a blasting of players who cut their socks at the back from Joey Barton?
Or here about the curve?
I will listen to Joey Barton.
Who listens to? I was just thank you, Super Sub. Yeah, if you're gonna take Joey Barton seriously,
You don't
come
take
on.
yourself serious.
Wow.
Joey Barton has punching matches with his strikers when he's the manager of a football club. You can't take what he says seriously.
Okay, sorry. I just saw an image of those cut socks.
Danny Carvajal in on the flank, looks to cuts it back too far, and Rodri able to clean up for Manchester City as we return to Premier League fixtures for the weekend.
That now. But I just think that both teams at this point, it's just consolidate, let's see, and go finish this off
Yeah.
at the Etihad. Because you don't want to make a mistake at this point
And
of
then
the
trail.
of the trail when going into the next game, whether you are the home team or the away team.
Just the stress of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just know that you're starting the game
On a
goal behind.
But just
Well done to Johnny Stones there for covering another great delivery from Modric, and he's showing his effect on the game still at the ripe old age of 36 now,
I think
Luka
he's
Modric.
34. Let me check.
He should be
Terrific player.
36.
36.
So Luka Modric with the corner kick now, plays it short, unmarked Danny Carvajal. Luka Modric with a new angle. Sorry, it's Brahim Diaz. My apologies. There's Danny Carvajal with a strike as it flashes wide of the goal. Burnley taking on Brighton on Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Burnley at
Brighton win.
home. I fancy Burnley to start picking up points here and there, but I don't fancy them to survive this Premier League season unless the league continues to punish Nottingham Forest and Everton the way that they are, with Everton having a further 2 points deducted for financial infringements. Manchester City at home to Luton Town. Of course, it's not Action Soccer pitch in Luton. Manchester City, this is the game for Haaland. We haven't spoken much about Haaland today in a positive light. He's not been able to affect the game.
He's not
but don't
cookie.
be surprised to see him score 5 on the weekend.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can. But also Luton, shame. To their defense, they're playing with a limping squad. Half of the team is injured.
Whose problem
There,
is that?
there was a game, I think, when they played against Arsenal. They had a 16-year-old on the bench.
That's nice.
Yeah, so Luton
Not
with
for the niceness. They didn't have a choice.
I know.
Luton
that's what
with
I'm
a
saying.
with
Like,
a
who
thin
cares?
squad and obviously not the financial clout of some of the other Premier League rivals. That's going to be a really tough game for them on Saturday afternoon. Nottingham Forest taking on Wolves. That should
This
be a
might be
cracker
draw.
of a game.
Yeah. I see a draw.
Forest at home, they need the points more than Wolves do. However, Wolves are a
How did
good side.
Forest
They're
do?
hard to beat.
They played this past weekend. Who are they playing again?
Forest this past weekend
Yeah,
were
I remember
playing
they played.
against Spurs and they got nibbled on Sunday night.
Okay.
3-1.
But
Away
Nottingham
to
Forest
Spurs.
has it in them, especially if they're going to be playing.
Well, especially with those
Wolves.
points deductions that
Yeah.
they've had, they need to play for their survival. Bournemouth against Manchester
Everton
United.
deducted 2 points further.
Yes.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah, Marco just actually mentioned it
Super
now.
Sub's very distracted by this football match, and I can't blame him because it's a terrific game.
Fully immersed.
As we go into stoppage time for the end of this one, I'm going to quickly run through the balance of the weekend fixtures in the Premier League. Bournemouth hosting Manchester United. They certainly have to improve
United
on their
for the win.
performances.
Yeah, it's an easy win for United.
Away at Bournemouth, who the Cherries can be a tough game. Liverpool on the Sunday lunchtime kickoff, I suppose. It's
Nothing
3
new.
p.m. South African time. It's Liverpool taking on Crystal Palace at home. Liverpool
obvious.
at home, big win for them. West Ham against Fulham. West Ham at
West Ham
home
win.
in that one. West Ham and
I think-
Fulham both chasing sort of that mid-top table sort of positions. That should be a good game to watch. I expect goals from that one. I expect
think-
West Ham to just shade it.
I think West Ham, the result of this game will depend how they perform against Leverkusen in the first leg of the
Thursday
Europa
night.
on Thursday night.
Very good points. Arsenal hosting Aston Villa at the
Big
Emirates.
match.
Really
straight win that
tough
Big one.
game for
It's going to be
Arsenal
an
in this
interesting
thing.
one. This
Aston
one.
Villa are a good
one
side.
all draw or 2 all draw.
Aston
Nah,
Villa.
Villa has it, but I don't see them winning.
Aston Villa can score
What
5
game?
goals.
They have
They
it.
can score 5 goals in the first half. Trust me, we will return those 5 goals with interest in the second. Because what they did against Brentford this weekend, it was utter. They were leading 2-0 in the second half of the game, looking very comfortable, and things just fell apart.
And the final fixture, Chelsea hosting Everton on Monday Night Football in
Everton
the
for the
Premier
win.
It could be a
League.
draw. That one.
No, Everton for the win.
Chelsea are at home. I fancy them to
I
start
don't know.
recovering a little bit of form.
I
Chelsea.
don't know. You can never know.
And that is a wrap of your Premier League fixtures coming up for this weekend as we come close to wrapping up this Champions League quarter final. 1 minute left in the stoppage time.
What
First
an
leg.
entertaining match, man.
What a
it was.
fantastic
Yeah.
football match. And it's just pleating out here ever so slightly. And Manchester City, I think, more responsible for that. Just looking to consolidate the 3-3 draw. Super sub coming to Madrid. You've got to be happy with the 3-3 draw.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think going to Etihad, it's gonna be
A walk in the park.
No, not really.
No, I mean, there's no walk in the park against Real Madrid, but
There's never such thing when you are in the last 8 of.
But it's comfortable at least. You know,
Nah,
you want to
not
come
really.
in a
Because
deficit.
anything can happen. More so because there's no away goals anymore.
Oh, is it?
So it's a clean. Essentially, it's a clean slate.
It's another game.
Oh, okay. The reason I was saying it's more comfortable because I thought that the aggregate will then come into play. But if you're saying it's a clean slate, then
Aggregate will
anything
come
can
to
happen.
play, but there's no away goal.
There's no away goal
Oh, is
advantage.
it?
Yes.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
So, super sub. I mean, obviously, it's always going to be a tough game. Real Madrid can turn it on at any point, and that is the full-time whistle, 3-3. And wow, what a game! What a game!
match.
3 fantastic goals to close off the fixture.
Definitely.
A terrific tactical display.
Yep.
The shape of the teams, the closing down, the work rate from both these sides, and the quality moving up the pitch, slick
think-
passing, etc.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham going to get into trouble, catch another card for himself for complaining when referees in the game earlier than he would have liked. Although, to be fair, the ball was in the net.
I
in
think
the
this
previous.
match was also just a sheer indication of just how intelligent both coaches are. How
And
they went
experienced,
about it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Very
couldn't
smart.
agree more.
And-
So fantastic performance from both sides. Really glad we watched this
Lovely
one
match.
instead of the game in Munich. I mean, at the Emirates.
There's something else in
Apologies.
Munich. There's something else in Munich.
What's happening in
What,
Munich?
It's
Leverkusen?
the other return leg.
Yeah,
Oh, snap, yeah,
in 2 weeks,
No.
in a week.
The same teams are playing. I think that the return legs are in a week.
Next week.
Next week.
Next
yes.
week.
Next week. And then it's just the inverse of today's fixtures in terms of dates.
Yeah. So
Oh,
today's
right. So it'll
fixtures
be
are playing
Wednesday
next week,
night.
Wednesday, yes.
Okay.
And then Dortmund and Atletico tomorrow night,
Tomorrow,
obviously. Barca PSG, which is also another. It's a cream game, but yeah.
Yeah.
This,
So we have
we've-
Barca
we've
and
seen the
PSG,
two.
Dortmund and Atletico on the same day, actually.
We've seen the 2 prime sides, really, and it wasn't a letdown at all. It was an entertaining game
Very much
and an
so.
absolutely fantastic performance. Ballers, thank you so much for joining us on this one.
Interesting that both matches ended up in a stalemate, a 2-2 that side and a 3-3 this side.
Tough games,
Yeah.
close
English
games, the
teams.
Champions
Yeah.
League.
Oh, yes.
And
I can hear you about to close it out. Can I give a shout out to somebody?
of course.
You may.
Okay, big ups to Orlando Pirates for scoring 7 goals against Golden Arrows this past weekend. That was one hell of a performance.
That was
so, thank you, Pagania.
And as
Yes,
feast
I'm
to
done.
Banyana Shem. Ish.
Oh yeah, toughies to Banyana.
Hare.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to you, ballers. Remember to stay onside with us. Don't be offside. Be onside with us. Danko to Len Moleko, Tepe Worldwide, and Super Sub. And as always, thank you so much to Betway. Get way more. For us, for now, it's goodbye.
Peace.
To the streets.